Okay, good.
Welcome to the
You're good.
Warlanders live stream, guys. Gas. Welcome.
Hey.
So, first I want to mention that Midweek returned,
Well,
but
get it, Alice, get it.
That was, I'm not going to give my thoughts on Midweek right now. I mean, I will, but...
Well, you can. I mean, right now you probably could, and it would be at the same. I mean, I gave you the table to
Right, I will talk...
put your food on.
But I just feel if I say what I'm about to say now, it's gonna be misinterpreted.
What do you mean? Well, elaborate on that at least.
Right, because you're not. I'm not trying not to compliment them too much.
Grind it. Oh yeah. But you can compliment them if you want to. Like I said, I'm not gonna stop you and sway your opinion. I enjoyed Midweek the first time it came. First 2 times it was out, anyways. But again, we can't compliment them too much. You're completely right there because of how they act.
Right.
The stupid things Bethesda's doing is not worth the praise. So are we gonna jump right into talking about that, or do you have anything else you wanna comment about?
I wanna add that I mentioned so much about this BOS update, and I'm gonna be really disappointed to say that if there ain't a shit ton of stability updates that pack on with that update, the game's not gonna work.
Nope. I gave up on the game. You know this very well because of those. Hoping for those stability updates is what really killed the mood to play. I mean, I know you've heard me say this before. I should never have to get on my Xbox and say that Fallout killed my want to play video games. And if you want to call it lasting trauma, so be it. But I spent so much time. Oh, they'll fix. They're doing the best they can for so long. And the second we made "We're with you, Bethesda, we're on your side," what was the first thing that happened? Nothing. And then I ended up getting hacked in the long run. But did that help in anything after we sent that video? No. I lost all my faith in them. You know, aside of what I do when I work with them, they ain't jack shit that they care for but themselves, honestly. I mean, some of the people might be human beings, they may have made mistakes, but when I say they don't care, I mean at company level. On a company level, they don't give a fuck. They're just gonna do them, and they're just gonna get their money, and they're gonna say fuck you to everyone else. And then when they clock out, they can be human beings that make mistakes. And I don't think Jeff Gardner ever thinks about that either, or the other idiot. But they kind of get mentioned in pairs. I really don't think they ever think that, oh hey, we're making a really good name for the company, and that can be bad. But it's just how it is. I don't want to give them any credit anymore because, again, they kind of ruined the gameplay for me. Why am I drinking coffee? That's because I wanted coffee. And I'm tired as fuck, too. That's not possible. Sadly. I don't have time to sit there and stare at the ceiling. I'm fine with that. Everything gives you cancer. Everything gives you cancer, though. Okay, what are we doing? But, do you have anything big you want to talk about? Since we've kind of already, I guess, somewhat jumped into everything.
Yeah. I do have a few points I would like to make. It's just...
It's raining.
It wouldn't be...
What are you going to say?
It wouldn't be so bad if it didn't require me, because I have this problem too. It required me to literally hook to either have my Xbox in the same room as the Wi-Fi box, or what I'm doing now to have my fucking wire going through the entire house straight from the box to my Xbox to play the fucking thing.
It's called wired Wi-Fi.
Right, but the wired internet, it shouldn't take that to play a fucking game. But,
you're right. But you gotta remember, COD did it. Sea of Thieves is still doing it. Grand Theft Auto has that ability to do that. Basically, the system can't. Grand Theft Auto has a notice on their little where it tells you about what to look for with loading screens. It says it requires a constant and unbroken connection to work. Games are getting too smart for themselves, but Fallout has been broken since it started. Again, I've also mentioned that before. It's basically just a Trojan. It's a Trojan virus in the form of a disk. They know what they're doing. I mean, I mentioned that on your Twitch stream. I don't know if anyone's watching that, but I mentioned your Twitch stream on the Dutch stream that they had to cut off because one of the developers that was on the stream was talking to someone in Dutch. We know our game is broken, but to us it's broken in a good way, and we're not obligated to fix it without a proper reason. That's pretty much what they were saying. They're acknowledging all of our problems, and then they're doing the bare minimum to fix it. They know the game needs a server stability update, but that's not on their things to do, basically. Like, we're the consumers. We're the little not sex slaves. We're their little lab rats. They put it in a friendlier way. We bought the game. To me, it's not worth what I paid for. Okay? Well, I can't give a refund. That was the first thing they kind of drug you into doing. You buy the game. You play the game. And while you're thinking the game kind of sucks, we're going to not listen to you, and they're going to make it free to play and rope in an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old and make it look damn good. So when they get it and say it sucks, they're going to be like you. They can't have a refund and go to hell because we're not updating the game to benefit the community. We're updating it to make money. If they were doing a little bit of both to help the community and benefit, it would work better. But they're flat out saying that they're not gonna. I had to get my friend, and I mentioned Coco, her native is German, because she was born and raised in Berlin. She wasn't happy with what she was hearing. She's like, of all the stupid things that I've ever heard a dev team or a company say, this one's got to take the cake. I was like, what? And she told me, word for word, translated into English. And, I must say this right now, and this is probably going to be bad to say it, but again, they're past the point of me respecting them out the window. It really does surprise me. When you get on the internet or on the news and you see someone's been hurt playing, reenacting or something about a video game, like the kid with the Grand Theft Auto incident. And what really gets me is no one's done anything stupid with Fallout yet. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I am honestly, truly honest to God, surprised no one's gone to Bethesda with a homemade laser rifle and shot someone yet out of anger of the game not working. Or done something less worse, like shutting the system down indefinitely for ransom or something. It really does shock me. I mean, it's already kind of... the game's server stability is already bad enough that you could shut their shit down through a little bitty virus, something that can self-replicate and fuck all the consumers over. And only you could turn it off. That's what I said. If I ever did it, it would be bad enough that if I went to federal prison, the game don't work until I come out. Like you'd have to rip me limb from limb to find the key to turn the game back on. Because it's just so bad off, and they're just beating a dead horse. They're scraping the barrel. I mean, they did the Seasons thing. They did a starter pack. They are ripping things from Fallout 4, and a lot of people got mad about that on the Reddit post, that hadn't even happened yet. Piper has not been born yet. But that's just like middle finger emoji. We get to do what we want. We're the company. So people. Fish their shit in a safe spot and come back for it. When they get banned, unbanned, they're going to do it again. Because Bethesda's like middle finger. We don't care. We're the company. How do we fix what they're doing? Does anyone know? No? Damn. I guess we're going to have to try to pretend to patch it. Every time they say they fix something in a patch, they lie to you. Unless you see proof, assume they're lying. They said they fixed the turrets. I never saw anything that was about turrets that are fixed. My turrets still to this day attack things that aren't enemies. They've attacked me before, even without the alien. To keep that one deer, like, oh yeah, the fight was alien does that. They'd be glowing purple then. They weren't glowing purple. And they've attacked and killed me. And it effectively prevented me from going to my camp. That vertibot pissed my turrets off to the point where they killed themselves. They killed each other when that vertibot showed up. I had to go kill the fucker because my turrets killed themselves. It's retarded. I mean, you'd think that Bethesda would have less issues with a lot of their things, but like I said, I should never have to get on my Xbox and not want to play video games because of my bad experience with one specific company. But I played Fallout for the 3 years. For damn near 3 years, man. I've been around since the smidge of beta. Not like the whole thing, so I can't count myself a beta player, but I was around long enough to know what the fuck was going on when they fixed this, when they supposedly fixed it. And yeah, the rocks don't float anymore, and the scorch don't go gadget neck wherever you are, but shit still shows up invisible. Try to throw ghouls still fly across the damn sky and stand there, like with their bodies are standing there looking at you, half moving around in the air, but then you're taking the health damage. Shit's still happening that's been happening since beta, and they're just like middle finger emoji, haha, LMAFAO, we're the company. We don't have to fix our game. And when you tell them you're going to leave, they're going to say, okay, we can get a bunch of children in our game. You're legally not supposed to be playing the game if you're not. The box is M for 17 plus, isn't it?
17.
And there's children as low as 7, 6, 5 years old playing this game. That's breaking a law right there. That's why it has a rating on it, because there's something that's happening in this game that children shouldn't be playing. It has very foul language. Like, I've seen some foul language, I've said some foul things, but they are on the scale of one step up from being racist and sexist. From calling all the NPC females sluts and whores and saying the N-word every 5 seconds. That's how close they are to breaking their game when they added the foul language. I mean, sailors are bad, and I've been in the Navy too. I know some, well, at least I know some Navy men, at least, and I know that they have foul language and they like to fight. But it's bad when a video game that's made for 17 and up has more children in its fan base than it does adults. Do you know what that means, right? Do you know what that means, Bombay? That means that they know what they're doing and they don't care. And on a parent's level, I would be suing. Because I don't want my children hearing those words unless it came out of my mouth. If a video game says fuck, shit, damn, bitch, horse, slut, and you just go down the list, and your kid starts saying it, don't punish your kid. Punish the game. And the company for saying that it's okay to do that, because all of our dialogue contains it. Don't worry, it's legal. Don't worry, kid, it's okay to play a video game about using guns to kill millions of people, because you can do it in real life, too. They're basically telling the kids it's okay to do drugs and guns. And Fallout does that too. What does it say on the box? Mature, 17 plus, blood and gore, drug references, intense violence, and strong language. They're telling kids it's okay to basically, if you're playing this game, you're not 17, don't worry. It's okay to do drugs. It's okay to get guns and kill people. It's okay to be racist and sexist and say all the foul language that you can in the book. It's okay. Do it. It's like, what the actual fuck, guys? How stupid do you have to be? They made a code called Radiant AI. It makes the AI smart. And they're not going to change anytime soon. I found out why. But the creatures in this game are getting so smart, and they're killing me in hordes now instead of being smart, instead of 5 gutsies. After that update for the BOS, it won't be just 4 how many assault runs do you get at your camp? I wanted to ask you that. Guess what? When that update comes out, you might have 4 or 5, and they'll be smart as fuck and around or higher than your level. They'll be ready for that. I mean, they might go as far as 100, but get ready for that, because from now on, whether you're good at the game or not, your level will dictate how many and what level the enemies will be. So I hope you like 50 and up Saltron on times like 4 or 5, maybe even more. Knowing Bethesda, they're gonna, and the AI is already smart. That's what I'm saying. It has like 4 different versions of AI: robot, human that considers that's human and PCs and up, and sea creatures, I guess, is one of them that has the anglers and mirelurks. It's considered a beast AI. We'll just call it a beast AI. It has everything that's not human players. Humans, players, or NPCs, scourge ghouls, charge ghouls, all the ones that walk on 2 legs isn't an AI. In fact, the cryptids are even in their own AI in a way. While some of them run away when you shoot at them, and some of them stay. It's AI. They know their game is broken. They're completely aware of them. They're completely fine with it. And it's to the point now where I blame a lot of my lack of sleep because I get off of games like that I like to play, and it drains the life out of me because I played Fallout for like, at this point we'll just say 3 years because it's almost 3 years old. And I've never hated every second of it until recently.
Just recently, it's been.
It makes me hate all the other games. It makes me hate a lot of other games too because I intend to end up going back to it. I say I don't want to play this anymore, and I end up going back to it. And it really, really, really gets to the point where I just want to. I don't want to play Fallout anymore. Shoot self in foot because a few seconds later I'm teaching you how to play Meat Week, and then we get fucked by the game somewhere along the way. It doesn't take long. It does not take long. It takes only a few seconds sometimes for me. I just want it to be over. I want it to stop. I want it to be done. I want the game to be fixed, but there's another bullet to the foot because they're never going to fix it. They flat out said it before. They don't want to fix it. It's not there. It's not there on their list of things to do. This is odd. Sabrina's character has out of shape, untrained, fragile, loud, unlicensed, RC pilot, normal. Mine has triathlete, untrained, fragile, clumsy, unlicensed, dangerous, and normal. My mental state, your mental state should be normal. I thought that was weird because our crude level is called trigger. But apparently I can't shoot worth a shit. You can fight me, Rockstar. I have auto aim on anyways. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I just pull the fucker out and just aim and it goes. I love it. It's easier because I don't want to get to a video game. I have to think when I play. But, I mean, I like Meat Week, yeah. But because people rioted about the rare rewards from the first Voshnak, they've been making shit down to your person. And like I said, there's no point even doing the events anymore. Like I said, even if you don't go do Primal Cut, someone will. Someone will. They're promoting promoting minimal effort for max reward, but it's all bound to your player. They're going to kill their own cap around it. Imagine we kill it. We as in the community starts duping shit. Fix your game. And people will stop. Will at least consider not. If your game is fixed, there's no reason for them to consider doing it. That's kind of why I support the community side that does these bad things. I support what they're doing because, again, if the game wasn't as broke as it was, if it was less broke, they would be literally not considering it as much. If the Dragon wasn't so screwed up, and if things that were happening weren't happening, there would be no worries, man. No worries. Because you would be, you'd be having fun playing the game and not feeling like you have to dupe to get currency. Some of these players are duping it to get a start in the game because of how it's all going down. I'd imagine they're pissed of how the game is. Like I said before, I shouldn't have to get on a video game and hate all my other games because of that. But hey, man, shit happens, I guess.
And it became more of a meta thing.
Not my fault.
Instead of trying to fix the dupe glitch or fix the ability to remove it, they just started to ban people who were duping.
Yep. And then the person gets back in and does it anyways. So, I mean, what did you truly accomplish? Like, what did you really accomplish?
Didn't accomplish a damn thing because
really?
The problem still persists after the ban because the ban doesn't do anything other than make that account unable to play. What stops them from making another account doing the same thing?
Yep. Oh well. Like I said, it's not our problem if they can't do their game correctly. Let them fuck their shit up. We'll just be here to talk how stupid they are and to say I told you so when it happens. We'll be that side of the community that people don't really care to see but are going to get anyways. But like I said, it's not. I told you to fix your game. It is not my fault you chose to not listen. It is not my fault. When I see a glitch here soon, in this next update, or a mod, or anything I can exploit, I'm going to do it. And when they block my account, and they say, why did you do it? I'm going to say, we asked you to fix the game. It's not my fault you didn't listen. I will flat out tell you that. I don't give a damn. Because I don't. I'm not obligated to care about their bullshit anymore. They can kiss my ass. And Todd can blow me. If he gets mad about it, he can go blow me for it. Because I'm not going to apologize. What the hell? I'm not apologizing for your bullshit, Todd. Ain't my fault.
The worst part is, we asked for something that would probably take them the lesser amount of effort to do. We asked for the simple thing.
And they don't do it. And then they don't do it. They still look at you like, ban. He's not enjoying the game the way we intended on him enjoying it. Ban. Oh, look, this guy knows a duper, but it's only just started the game. Ban. Oh, look, Bromby has become the big white. Ban. It's just, they're shoving their hands up people's asses and saying, give me your money or I'll twist or some shit. And they're getting whatever the fuck they want and they're not changing. I do really find it funny when players sit here and be like, hey, you could just, fix your shit and make it easier for everyone. Who are you? They're kind of like, I'm sorry, who are you to tell us what to do? That's what I kind of hear when I hear the word Bethesda. Who are you to tell us how we should tell you how to play the game? When did you get a choice in the games you play? Because I remember you don't. And then they kind of gone, man. I mean, at this point, what do they not do? And I can always just tell you about the fact that they don't. If they cared like they say they do, and I mean, I've heard them say we care. No, Todd, calm down. You're starting to get gay on us and lying about shit. He'll claim he cares all day long, but let's be truly honest here. If he cared, he wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here talking about it. And again, it goes back to YouTubers as well. You can blame some YouTubers for the same problem. Shit's still happening.
And they don't ever address it.
Shit. No. They address it. They address what they're told to address. That's pretty much what's happening. They're told to address a certain other thing. So they're not going to address at all the problem that's actually happening. They're not obligated to address how bad the game is. They're supposed to, for the safety of their, and I quote, for the safety of your channel in association with Bethesda Softworks and ZeniMax, you are obligated to do, and then as followed, talk about how good the game is. End of list. Failure to do so will result in, and then they give you a fuck ton of things that they'll do to you if you fail. And a lot of these YouTubers that play Fallout don't want to lose their shit, so I'd imagine they're scared to lose their shit. I really do believe that they're probably afraid to lose. I mean, Rifle would probably die if Bethesda took his account from him. I'd imagine he may not kill himself, but he might be close. Because, I mean, seriously, guys, how much of a bastard do you have to be? You know? Apparently it's mandatory now. From what I want to mention, it seems to me it's mandatory. You know.
Mandatory
it's mandatory for them to tell you how they want you to play their game. We are mandatorily obligated to tell you that you're playing our game wrong. Fix that immediately. Failure to do so will result in ban. And ban. That's all? Yeah, that's all, man. Have fun. Don't get that ban. Failure to do so will result in a ban.
And by doing that,
I hope you like ban. It's ban with a side of more ban, so that's what I joke about it all the time. Failure to do so will result in ban with a large chunk of ban. You don't like it? Cool, ban. I mean, it's really how it's going to end up being, I do believe. On my heart and soul, that's what it's going to do, though. Failure to result in the following will result in a ban. You're just... Where you can sit there and deal with it, and the server stability can keep getting fucked. I also think that's one of the bigger things they do when your server stability fucks something up. I also believe that one with my heart and soul, that they're screwing over your server stability every time you have a problem. I really do believe that one as well. You're just mad that our server stability is not doing what you want it to do. And I just bought a new car. But hey, at least this game gives you cars. At least Rockstar understands that some people like to drive the cars they see in video games. You know? At least they know how to not be a piece of fucking shit when it comes to community desires that are reasonable. They'll listen if it's reasonable, and of course if it makes them a little bit more money, which is understandable, because again, at least they're doing it. But Bethesda's like, oh hey, we know that we can put we can do everything in our power to fix our shit so you can have a video game with cars as part of the game. But no, we're going to show you a bunch of blown out cars from the war that never actually happened because we made that no longer canon. And oh yeah, next update for Wastelanders, you're going to see the whole garage full of brand new versions of those cars. You can't drive them. Don't ask us to do so. We will ban you.
Hell, they made a thing you can put down for the Fusion Fleet. You know what they did with it?
Sashbox.
I mean, yeah, Sashbox.
They're scraping the bottom of the barrel right now. That's like the third time they released a Raider DLC based character thing where they give you a fucking. That's the third time they've done it, Bromby. They're running out of ideas and they want to get paid top dollar for their ideas, no matter how stupid or low it is. Like, told you we need another nuclear winter. They've yet to open up the other vaults. They're reopening the vault raids. As funny as that is, what about the other vaults you made that should be already finished and ready to be open for their first time? Meanwhile, in the Bethesda studio, hey, let's reopen the vault raids. I know everyone was pissed, and we're still mad at them for duping. Let's open the vault raids and see how many people we can ban for participating. That's what I hear. How many people can we get to participate in such a thing before we can ban them for participating in the vault raids? But what about the other? The community member has an email. What does it say? What about the other vaults you already had pre-made in the game? Remind me to ban him later. All right, Mr. Howard, I will. We're having the community themselves are having better ideas than Bethesda, but they're going to ban you the second their game breaks. Because they need something to do. They're twiddling their security batons and not doing their job. But when we do their job for them because they're not doing their job, they have a temper tantrum. Look, a noob is doing my job, ban. Or I'm going to have a fit on Reddit. According to the Reddit post, Todd got mad at a bunch of people for duping. And he was not very friendly. Can I believe that? I don't know. But again, Todd's kind of stupid. But to smile that retarded and fake, I would say he probably did get mad and have a tantrum because someone else is doing his job. I mean, what did William always say about work, Bromby? Never send a boy to do what?
Job.
And what is Todd?
A boy.
At heart, a boy doing a man's job. He may look like a man, but he's not a man because he ain't doing his fucking job.
I swear, he looks like a fucking high school jock more than he looks like what I would expect a game developer to look like.
Yeah, but he's probably in his, 30s, 40s?
Like, one of the
he ain't never played, he's only played 2 games.
And I was like,
he's skinny as a fucking twig, so I'd imagine you could hit him with a plastic laser rifle and he'd cry.
But here's the thing.
You know.
I saw what he looked like in one of the comps, just toting that fucking leather jacket. It's like, is he trying to be a game developer or a high school jock? It's literally what I thought in the first place. Like,
he is. He don't know what Fallout is. He didn't know what Fallout was until he played, Brotherhood of Steel 6 and I think Fallout 3. And he's like, damn, this is the best shit I've ever seen inside of an Atari game. I want to take that company's passion project and screw it over. That's really what kind of happened in his brain. He played one of the games that he later dubbed, I think even the creators kind of dubbed not canon. And he's like, I'm going to take all of that from them. How stupid are you, Todd? I mean, that's all it really amounted to being. Oh, by the way, we're in a server by ourselves. I don't know what happened. Well, not by ourselves, but before you had gotten on the server, I was in my garage still when this happened. Some dude, I guess, I don't know what he did, but I assume that he turned his shit off or did the net type because gone. I was like, okay. But I want accept nothing more than an apology and Todd stepping down at this current point. He deserves nothing more. He's not a gamer, and that's what I kind of believe. In a honest to goodness truth, I believe that only gamers, people that, or at least have a strong understanding for games and what people would like to see and can listen and attempt to listen, deserve to be developers. I mean, it's like I said, you don't take I guess I can give a scenario here. Okay, you got this guy right out of high school, just finished the police training academy with like a B or something, maybe a C. A high C, so he passed, okay? He wasn't really good at shooting. Versus the guy that graduated first class, went on to serve the military before coming home and being a police officer, went and did the academy again and was top of his class since like 4 years ago. He's the first one in like 4 to 8 years that's been top of his class. Who do you trust more when something happens? The guy who is probably only qualified at this point to legally be a mall cop? Or the guy who did his country service and then came back and pushed through the thing and overproved himself to say he's qualified? Who do you really think would be better here? And you can apply your answer to video games. Do you want a guy who has only heard about games and doesn't know what the fuck a Fallout game is to copy and paste everything from the games? At this point, you can say he might as well have stolen them, given the way he's handling the games. Or do you want someone that's played all the games, pre-Bethesda, has enough money to take care of the shit and willing to listen with moderation and do something for the company and the community? Who do you think is going to be more qualified in any way at all to do this? If Todd's the current acting person and ain't doing your do you see that?
Yeah, I did.
What the fuck? I just did like a side swipe, like my car was pushed by something. Lol. Okay. But, like I said, there ain't nothing wrong with GTA. I mean, there is a couple of things I will say. It's not like it's going to be like, oh, fuck Todd, and nothing's wrong with Grand Theft Auto. But there is some things I do have an issue with Grand Theft Auto. A little bit of. And that's just the small things of the game is 8 years old, and they still have some a little bitty problems about hacking, and which, I mean, honestly, they can't really do a whole bunch about, because when you get a player who does wrong, you get things like that happening anyways. You left.
I got booted for a network error.
Okay. I mean, they can't just fix every time someone lies or hacks, but, you know, again, there's just some small things. At least with Rockstar, it's small nitpicks. With Bethesda, it's like an AIDS sore at this point. Like, you can, it's blankly there for the whole fucking world to see, smell, and hear about. And you ain't covering that up. But yet Bethesda still, in a way, tries everything they can to hide their mistake that they purposely put up. I mean, they wanted it, man. They wanted it. And again, that's what scares me. Because they know what they're doing. And I fear that ZeniMax knows it too. And that's what really scares me, to know that ZeniMax likely knows they're doing this stuff. But they're not going to say, hey, Todd, buddy, old pal, my wonderful company's son, can you start doing your job? I'd hate to have to ground you from the right to use the game and make you have to actually earn more respect to come back, man. I could see him doing that, and then Todd just say, fuck you, I'm going to make this, I'm going to buy you out as an independent company. People say that he can't do that without losing the rights to own Fallout, but you write a big enough check, and any company will bow before you as God. So, I mean, that's kind of what Disney's doing not every day, really? Huh. You were still in my car when I went to my garage. You can into your garage with non-playable characters. Bromby, when the fuck did you become an NPC?
I do not know.
But like I said, I do really think that Todd's not doing his job. And I could see Zenimax saying, I need you to do some more work, son. You're not paying enough rent around the house. And him saying, well, fuck you, Dad. I'm going to go make myself independent, and I'm going to buy you out while I'm at it. Check and mate. You know, honestly, that's what I see when I hear the word Todd. He knows what he's doing. And it is completely plausible if he gets enough money off of Fallout, he can start doing what basically, again, Disney's doing. Oh, look, a streaming company is making a couple thousand more than us within a week. Not anymore, you belong to us. Or, as we put this one, because you hear me say this one a lot, oh, look, a Wi-Fi system that's offering more rewards for being with them because our customers don't like how bad of a company we are. Not anymore, you belong to Comcast, bitch. You're our new sex slave. All of your customers are our customers. You are ours now. Hope you like being a slave forever, because we're going to enslave your company. We're going to buy you out. And we're going to suck all of your profits. And if you don't like it, you're fired. That's what Comcast and Disney kind of sort of do. But at least they don't like, if you don't like it, you're fired. Comcast does that. Comcast was not an internet provider. And they just appeared and was like, we don't do our jobs too well. People are not liking what we do. Hey, let's go buy out all the other companies and form a forced monopoly, a kingdom of monopolism, the philosophy of using a monopoly to a legal advantage is what I'm basically saying. The monopolies are illegal, but if you do it just right, you can make a legalized monopoly. That's what they do. And they're like, hey, we own your company now. Oh, you don't like that? We're going to fire all of your workers and hire people that will gladly work for us. Have fun. Fuck you too. They're still shit. So when they came up, they called us that one day and said, hey, we're slowing our shit down to save our stability. They did it again. This is again, by the way, the second time they done it. Me and him said, fuck it. I told him to go to fucking hell. I'm taking you off my list. I'm using William's Wi-Fi now, all the way up in Utah. But you know what? At least William knows what he's doing. At least William understands the concept of Wi-Fi. I wanted to mention that. He understands. So, thank you to William for understanding how big of a fuck-up everyone else is. I wanted to mention that. Everyone else fucks up. When it comes to William, everyone else is a fuck-up. Because he knows what he's doing. And when he doesn't know what he's doing, he learns. He'll admit when he's wrong, but I don't know. I guess it's just for some reason people think, oh, hey, you know that we are not doing our job, but we want you to spend more money on us. No. Okay, let's get mad. He chose not to. I see that in a lot of companies today as well. I'm going to shove oh, look, your favorite YouTuber. He has lots and lots of viewers. Let me have him shove as much BS in your face as possible so you'll buy our game. What is the game? Something simple, something stupid, and something watered down. Idle RPG games where it's like, oh no, let them go. And it's a YouTuber just in here, like, voicing over everything. Oh my gosh, guys, they added Geo and all this other Assassin's Creed stuff to a video game that you've never heard of. Wow. Whoa. I mean, seriously, guys, this is amazing. He fakes it. It's like, no, I'm for real, guys. I bet you that dude doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You're told to say it. You're on a small contract saying that you will say that. So excuse me for knocking on the YouTubers that are dumb enough to do that, but again, stats don't lie. They'll flock to you if you're a YouTuber, and they'll email you until you say yes. I also want to mention that. You know what ad harassment is, Bromby?
Yeah.
Ad harassment in the form of emails is the most basic form of ad harassment you'll ever get. It's the most basic form. We're going to email you until you start doing a fake as fuck ad about our system. You can either do it and benefit at minimum a couple $100,000, or you cannot, and we will harass you with these emails until you say yes, please. There was a guy I was watching on YouTube about it. He had 62 emails from a poker game. What the actual fuck, guys? How many times are you gonna? And he didn't want to, so he made a video on it and was talking about it. How stupid it made them look. Yeah. He was talking about how stupid it made them look as a company. Like, how dumb are you? You're gonna sit here and fucking harass me about it? Really? I mean, he flat out said it. It's like talking to a bunch of damn children because they just hear, I don't want to. Well, fine, you don't have to, but I'm going to sit here and harass you until you say yes, please. So you might as well. Like, they actually will admit to that. Companies like that will do that. They'll just say, hey, if you don't, we'll harass you until you say yes, please. So you might as well go ahead and do it. I mean, come on, man. It's not going to kill you to do what we ask. Well, I mean, it might, but we're not going to tell you that. And then you're the one that's getting fucked. It's kind of like, what was that thing you talked about? The companies that don't exist, they try to get you into doing shit and they end up stealing your account. It's basically that, but they have no interest in stealing from you, if that makes any sense.
I was talking about the YouTuber accounts that don't want to make the effort of actually making content themselves. So they'll either do one of two things. They'll go around every single new YouTube video or relevant YouTube video that's around, and they'll just say, hey, cool video, you want to be friends? And they'll either do one of two things. They'll use that as a scapegoat to get you to subscribe to them, or they'll do that to take your account from you. If you respond, they'll track you through something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's some kind of like token or something, some virtual token that happens whenever you do respond to stuff like that. And I was just like, no. Just, no.
But if you respond, you kind of lost your shit.
Right? It's like a 50-50 gamble.
It's funny because those people will target anybody that's on the platform. I've had someone target me before, but again, when you steal things off of the Wi-Fi that I'm using, William's not going to bat an eye when you get fried. He says off to the fry basket you go, and he ain't kidding. A couple thousand jolts of electricity will kill a human being. And he is no stranger to electrocuting stupid children who go around on video games and threaten to DDoS you. You do that. He has a code in his system. So if you're exploiting a hack or a mod or a cheat like that, and you're threatening people that you will, you go start typing that code in. The more you type, you get 50 jolts that raise up from whatever its standard is 50. It'll add 50. And it's just a waiting game to see how long it'll take before it kills you. He's fine with that shit. Because he knows he's doing the world a favor in some, what I'll call sick way. I agree with that. In some sick, fucking, twisted way, I agree with what he's doing. Because, again, they're already threatening to do it, even if it's just to scare you for the lulz. And William finds the lulz when people get electrocuted like that. He finds death funny in general, but again, he says it's more funny when the person threatened you and acted so cool and so strong, so fucking brave, and then they got like about 1,000 electricity volts going through their veins just for touching their keyboard. And William doesn't have to hack. He just runs a little thing that's part of a legalized coding system. It's kind of like having an electric door handle in your car. It's illegal somewhere, just not where you happen to be using it. You know what I mean? And yes, that is illegal. But what was it made to originally do? Keep your car from getting stolen by idiots that use bobby pins to unlock your car. That's what that was made to do. Keep people from running up on you in intersections and pointing a gun at your window and saying, unlock the car or I will shoot you through the glass. That's what bulletproof glass was made for civilians. So now they can't shoot your window. They're going to get caught because the gun went off. And lol, touch my door handle, I dare you. 60 volts, 60 volts. You liking that? You liking that? It's an unhandheld taser. Just for you, man. My tank has that on. It is electrically charged hatch seal. Meaning you can't open it. You cannot open it from the outside unless I unlock it. Because it uses the electric pull, like a magnet, to prevent the hatch from opening. Now, can that be dangerous? Yes. For the people inside, that is. Am I worried? No, because they know how to get it open. I just find it for the lulz funny, because it's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Open the door, I'll shoot you. Did you know my wife's car is like armor-plated and bullet-resistant glass for 50 cal machine guns? Yes, we kept that. And open the damn door. Oh, we did. He got a 50 cal machine gun right at his foot, and he said, damn, come on by, fuck this. He wasn't happy. But again, civilian versus military machinery, I find it sadistically funny. Open the fucking door. I'm going to steal your car. I will shoot her, and there's me just sitting over on a 50 cal machine gun rack. You're going to shoot her. With that? Yeah. Are you sure about that? Yeah. Okay. Dance, bitch, dance. Oh, dance. It's funny, though. If you really think about how stupid the human species is, then I kind of agree with my daughters on that. I truly do, bro. The human species for dummies. Just evict all of them from the planet. I mean, that's kind of what World War III is kind of going to do anyways. My daughters will survive, at least. I mean, there won't be a life without us is probably a life we want to live for. But let me say this again: a life without the human species is probably better off for society than one would like to admit. I will not apologize to say that out loud. You know why? Because ever since the human species started interacting with each other, people have been fucked more. Way more than usual. It's taking less effort now to be that guy than it is to do anything else. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, Rambai?
Yes.
People are having to think less to commit murders and having to do less to cause massive problems and other dangerous things to get what they want. I mean, again, why threaten to hack someone and then have to do it when you can scare the fuck out of them to give you a fucking $1 million, or I'll hack your mom's account and have someone come kill you? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Why actually have to go do it when you can just scare them or pretend to be American and be a telemarketer and scam everybody? You know, it's one of those things, I guess, in the world now, and you can just go buy a gun off underground instead of actually being legal about it, and you can commit a fuck ton of crimes. And that's why when have you ever seen those things in the news where a dude got his car broke into and they stole nothing but the gun, and you're confused? If you've ever been confused on why that is, because I'll tell you why that is. I'll tell you right now what that does. They stole your gun, so when they decide to commit a murder with your gun, the cops aren't looking for that dude unless the victim lived. They're looking for you because that bullet is traced to your gun. Because they just basically go find whatever gun can hold that round, and then they're going to know, hey, these are handguns that live in America that can only take 45s. Well, here are the legal occupants of these firearms. Let's go get him. Oh, look, a Brumby, home state, West Virginia. They're going to go to your house and they're going to arrest you and take you into the police station. You're going to be stuck there for 4 more hours. And they're going to threaten to send you to life in prison for killing someone. And you don't even know what the fuck's going on. You're still trying to find out. Your phone's just sitting going off where people are trying to help you find your firearm. They're not going to care until it's all over. And then they're going to be like, oh, hey, you know what I mean? That's why when people break into cars, they want to see if you have a gun. so they can steal it. So they can ditch the one that's filed off that they're probably using to commit the crime in the first place. So when something happens, not only were you robbed, but you're fucked too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
once you kind of put two and two together, and that's becoming so much common nowadays. I mean, I bet you that out of every civilian rioter that's happening in the world right now, 6 or 8 of them have a illegally owned or purchased firearm, and they're probably part of some gang, and are just acting on a civilian level. It means they're not going to go in there and cause gang attention, but they're going to join for the sake of our gang is now creditable because we're on the side of the riots. You know, once you really see how bad the world is, and a lot of things start just falling into the easiest puzzle ever is being solved. It's not rocket science to say the human species is not going anywhere good. My children are like, wow, World War III is going to be because of humans. Wow, it's going to kill everything else. Oof, damn. I got a bunker for all of us, and maybe some of the most country's biggest leaders, besides where they're already going to be for like the ones that are like police and firefighters. Because I know that's true. When World War III happens, everyone's going to die. Fuck, like I said, if you're not in a bunker, you ain't surviving nuclear winter. But hey, you know, I think that's the bigger concern here is who's to blame when it's over. That's kind of what I liked about the Fallout franchise as well, and the transition back to the game. That's what I liked about the Fallout franchise. It took the concept of Americans and other countries being assholes to each other to the point where murdering each other with nukes is now a plaything. Vault-Tec was like, oh yeah, certainty posed dominance over a nuke silo. Fallout 4, hey look, there's that bomb that was from West Virginia. What are they doing? It's our god, you bastard. Our god is an atomic bomb. Praise him because he didn't blow up on us. Please don't mess with him, he has a short temper. Totally foreshadowing the world itself. I just find it funny as hell. Really. That's what I liked so much about the Fallout franchise. Not because it was fun and cute, it was because it's flat out saying that we're all going to die in a nuclear war. And to embrace that. I mean, that's the best thing you can do at that point anyways. When you hear that World War III started, you're either going to do one of two things. Kill yourself, or go outside and embrace the carnage that humanity has brought on you. Because most people will probably be asleep every 20, 30 years or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Every so many years they move that clock. The doomsday clock. That's a thing, Bromby.
Yes.
And every so many years it gets closer to 12 o'clock at night. Which means, you know, that what that means, some dumbass somewhere is going to get pissed at someone else somewhere else at 12 o'clock at night, and everyone's going to be slapping nuke buttons, and everyone else here, bunker or not, will be asleep. Unless you're a hacker, of course. It's been theorized that hackers will be the new warfare god, in a way, as well. I thought that was kind of funny how we're so scared of hackers and all this shit, and then you realize it won't matter when you're dead. But in World War III, they're going to snatch all the fucking military drones through hacking power because nothing's stopping them. And that's why I said, hackers need to go. That needs to be a death penalty. Because they'll get out of prison, and they'll go back to what they're doing. And they'll just do... The only thing that will change is, now I just don't need to get caught again. Because life in prison isn't fun. But I got out. They had to find some other way to punish me. World War III happens? Wow, there's no one here to punish me. Here, let me steal a couple government drones, mech suits, I'll hack that, I'll hack this. Ooh, this one's a laser-guided nuclear war drone. I'll take that, thank you very much. Hey, look, some civilians. Give me your money and say that anime is sexy or I'll kill you. I mean, do what they want and they kill you anyways, because I'm a hacker. I get to do that. You know? Do you like that? Do you like thinking about that, Rob? Do you like thinking about the gamers, the the ones that we don't like are the ones that are going to cause you hell if you survive the nuclear war.
I don't like
just because.
Kind of.
But yet nothing gets done.
Right.
I mean, this all goes back to companies that, like the ones with Todd, not doing anything about it. That's where these games really get in trouble in the long run. By literally, I'm going to say this a lot, by choosing not to do anything, they fuck up the whole world. You can call it a triangle of success too, by successfully not doing anything. You've effectively just screwed some other people over when something does happen. As long as you're aware of that and you're nice to people, when you find a chance to be nice to people, you have a better chance than the hacker does when it gets down to it. But it's to the point now, Brian, by where people are doing what they want and not what they should do. Oh, wow, your wife's dying, but the baby needs to be delivered? Let me deliver the baby and shoot your mom in the head. Oh, wait, your baby is going to have a mental disability. Well, we're going to abort your child because that's what you're supposed to do. And then we're going to shoot your wife in the head for birthing a child with mental disability. You know, every day a child with a mental or physical disability is born within America. But right before it's time to birth the child, the doctor gives the parents an opinion on aborting it because it will do the child a favor. That happens every day. So people like us would have been on the considered list of abortion because we're different from the rest of society, because we see the world, and it's basically at this point it's because that people don't want to deal with us, and they see us as more of a threat. To be truly honest with you, I think they're afraid of us, because people like us, we can see a hell of a lot more in many different ways. And does that make it bad? It can be. According to what my sister says, I think she's like half-assed her research. According to her, mental disabilities people with those disabilities cannot have a gun, serve our country, be anything important into society because we're dangerous or whatever. What she doesn't see is, if anything, I think we're in a certain case scenario, we're better to do that. I mean, really, again, would you rather have a resourceful human being with a sane brain? And this is one of those weird scenarios that I have to explain it this way. Sane human being with a really resourceful brain and can do the same thing we can do, or us, where we might need a little help understanding everything else, but we can pull an Einstein and save a millions worth of people. Do a what if scenario. What if we do this, 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 and this? It'll save you, it'll save me, and it'll save everyone else when shit happens. I mean, people like us, we think for everyone else, so they don't have to do it. That's what I told someone when I was doing a science project in school. I'm thinking ahead so you don't have to. So you don't have to rack your brain and try to figure out how to fix the problem you're putting yourself in. I'm thinking ahead and stopping you ahead of time.
Thinking ahead to solve any problems that come up along the way.
Right. I do. I try my best to do that stuff. We have our meltdowns because the world can't understand us, and we don't understand the world. We as the ones with the disability. But people are less drawn to us because they feel outlandish because we're smarter than them, and sometimes we can be dumber than them. It really just depends on how the parent is to the child. For example, someone with autism is more likely to me, would get a Nobel Peace Prize just for existing, because the things that people with autism can do on a mental level when they have high functioning, they could do a hell of a lot more than the guy who actually worked his whole life for the Nobel Prize and only got silver. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of the point where we could put effort in just about as much as everyone else, and I proved that to you by showing you all the shit I've done, talking about the shit I've done. Was it easy? Hell no. I still had to deal with a lot of shit that a lot of regular people didn't have to go through. I deal with PTSD a lot differently than other soldiers and other things happen. I got worried over things and got PTSD over things that other people have it don't get. That's not the reason. You know, it's just, again, how I perceive the world. It really dictates my life, but I quit letting it do so by stopped taking medication to make me a corporate drone. Having to take behavior medicine is your parent saying we can't handle how smart of a kid you are and how you're trying to see the world is wrong. That's pretty much what's happening. That your parents are, I mean, your parents might not be, but mine were basically giving it to me because they didn't like how I was perceiving the world. That no one else understands, no one else is gonna understand, so I'm gonna do me and you stay away. That's kind of how I was in elementary to middle. I'd beat up some kids. I'd beat the fuck out of them. Because I'm gonna do you, or I'm gonna do me, you do you. I understand the world differently from you, and I'm not even, and I tried to relate with other people, and I got sick of it. Around, exiting elementary and into middle school, when they found out why I was doing that, I quit believing in other people. And I was more likely to beat the fuck out of you if you tried to, if you intentionally tried to be at odds with me, I'd beat you up. And I had lots of kids in high school that got beat up. They would, I get it if you're in a debate and there has to be in a debate there's the right, there's the left, and there's the right. There is the one who is leading the debate, and there's going to be one that's always going to have to be one that's the adversary, whose job it is not to say neither side can say you're wrong, because you have to find a reason to make the debate creditable. Then you can say, here's why you may have been misled, and you give them a reason to believe so. And I had so many kids in that class. Oh boy, you're wrong, and this is why. When actually I was factually correct. I think all the girls and guys, I jumped over the desk to beat the fuck out of them. Because at the end, they admitted it. I told them, I'm going to keep beating the fuck out of you until you admit what you were doing. And some of them, I just had to stand up. And they were like, okay, sorry, I was trying to be I was being an aggregator, not an adversary. I got sick of it, I still am kind of like that a little bit. I mean, I won't beat you up, but again, I got sick of people, and Kate and them are sick of people too. But again, it's all because they see the world around the same way I do. So does Amber. Amber gets it, but Amber's mute, so she gets to be somewhat normal, but she's still treated like shit, unlike other human beings in the world that are mentally stable and can speak, have more rights to everything than we do. And it gets to the point where I'm like, it's funny how we've been making these videos and no one ever sees it. I kind of blame the world's idea of a mentally unstable individual is the reason why you're being suppressed. The reason why our shit's messing up all the time. Because it's socially normal to not be mentally or physically disabled in any way. You're in a wheelchair, you can't speak, you're deaf or blind, or you can go in the defective corner is what it's called at this point. There are other people that aren't normal and functioning higher than society expects them to, doesn't go. We're basically, in a way, we're the failed abortions and mistakes to society. Society sees us as a failed abortion, or a mistake, or, oh, well, your mom must have smoked and did drugs while she was pregnant with you. I saw a meme on the internet recently, that face you make when your parents are cousins. I reported that meme, because you know how many children that happens to every day? And usually it's not consensual either. But, just because it happens doesn't mean you should make a meme about it. I reported that meme. I ended up getting in trouble. For that. His little crew of squad of dipshits on that post got really fucking angry. You must be one of those inbred bastards. That's the only reason why you're getting mad. It's like, no, not really. just an American citizen that upholds the right to freedom of speech and press, and to tell you you're wrong when you're wrong. I mean, it's like, it's not rocket science, people. Be nice to each other, and then when shit happens, you have someone to look on.
Exactly. It's not...
I could share all sorts of little stories about times that I was in doing service and being stuck with other countries. It's worth of people, you know. It's been happening since, like, the wars have been a thing. Other countries have been jumping on each other and jumping on with each other to do certain things. And I got to that point where one dude he was with his country and he had to be stuck with us. He didn't like Americans all that much. Or he didn't like me, we'll say that. I think it was because he thought he was older than me and knew more, because his ranking was like one step behind me. And it's like, buddy, here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna do what I can to not piss you off, and you're gonna be respectful and do the same. Because having someone you hate in a group but can tolerate long enough to work with at a time like this is the only thing keeping a whole platoon from crashing and dying, or one of them shooting you. You know, basically it's better to be quiet, not have an issue with the individual, especially when you're in combat, than it is to have it done later, you know, than to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I butted heads with so many people, because again, that part my sister said may have been somewhat okay, but you can't tell them they're not gonna if they want to do it and they prove that they can do it. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
They have jobs for photography, mechanics, and shit that you'll never see physical combat, but you might be in a combat scenario where you get to fix a tank or a jeep or a plane. They have jobs they can do for people like us, but I wanted combat. And because I butted heads with a lot of people for the most adamant and correct reasons, I made more friends and I fixed more shit than other people would have dared try to. I could have easily let him alone, been an ass, and had us both court-martialed. We'd have been sent home and set in a little prison cell on the base until the war was over. And then we would have got a big-ass trial for basically being assholes to each other. You know? I did what I thought was the right thing. I told him how it is. You're a rank higher than me, but that doesn't make me the smartest person out there. I'm a rank, you know, we're basically on the same level of intelligence here. We're both human. We both can make mistakes. We both got guns, and we're both here to do something together, not against. You know? And that's when he kind of fucked off about his problem. And he made an effort to do what I said. I'll do what I can to respect you, and if something happens, I'm going to respectfully explain it to you. If you offer to do the same thing, we'll be just fine, and we'll get this shit done with and over. And then me and him ended up becoming good friends. He was actually from an odd little country that I never heard of. So they were really small. They were more military than they were people, like civilians. He was part of one of the bad countries, basically. But he chose to leave and pick a new country. He defected from his own country because he was sick of seeing people get blown up, seeing kids and dogs getting used as bombs, I guess you could say. I mean, it got along just fine once that was over. So we both got guns, and we're both here to do something together, not apart. If you'll just work with me here, we can make it. And he said, you know what, you're right.
Work with me? Because there's a time...
Work with me and I'll work with you.
Right, there's a time and place for everything. That would not be a time and place for that to even be considered.
Right. But again, I also told him I understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? I understand that perfectly. Because a lot of people are not expecting that. They're not expecting someone like me to be in a charge of something on a massive scale, you know. So That's understandable. I told him it's everything you're mad at me for, we're butting heads for, is completely normal. But again, you work with me and I'll work with you, and we'll make it. And he said, you're right. He flat out said I left my country because of the things that they were doing that I wasn't fond of. I joined a new military group, not to be a spy, not to do anything wrong. And he apologized for butting heads over something so petty or pitiful. And I forgave him, and we went on, and we ended up doing what we needed to do, and we got out with 0 casualties. Hell, we even got a couple POWs that ended up defecting after he was done with them. We used the power of calm warfare. Me and you got guns, they got guns, me and you were here to do something good, and we can get them on boat too if we do it, if we play our cards right. So I don't like to go into combat and think, oh hey, it's our mission to kill every enemy you see. If you can reason with them, I mean, you're going to have to kill a couple. I mean, I was kind of okay with that. But having to wipe a whole fucking town out, or a whole city, when you can just reason with them, fuck, even use their religion as a cornerstone to not do that. How many times we've been in the country around like the Arabic cities, we've used their religion to say, would your god or gods or goddess or goddesses want you to go and do something like this? You really think that they want you to put on a bomb and end your life to no longer worship them for a better reward? Where's your nirvana, man? That's what we said to I can't remember where we were in a Chinese province for a Buddhist thing, and I was like, where's your nirvana, man? You spent this long here prepping for a war, and you can achieve nirvana by chilling out, not caring. Watch the world burn. Watch it burn with us, or maybe not with us, but you can watch the world burn, but you don't have to be violent about it. We basically said that you spent your time in your country before serving trying to achieve nirvana, and you come to war in basically a bad mood. Just achieve nirvana with us, man. We were like hippies, damn hippies in camo. It's fucking hilarious. But there was times where we've had people on the opposite end show up with a bomb vest on it. It was like, I was told I'm going to have to blow you up if you get any closer to me. Don't even step to the door. And my guys were like, shoot him. Just shoot him. He'll blow up anyways. I was like, man, you don't got to. You can come back with us and help us out and end this quicker, and no one else has to die. And, we just kind of talked them down from it. It's going to sound really sick, but in the way of what I'm talking about, it won't be as sick if you think it that way. I enjoy the suicide bomber missions. The ones who want to put on vests and kill themselves. You know why I enjoy that? Because I get a chance to get attached to the individual to the point where I can talk them down. Because some of these guys are like religiously inclined to blow themselves up, and I'm like, bro, you don't have to. I mean, wouldn't you rather see your country make it out and you get to worship a bit more? I was very religiously sound when I went and did my country stuff, and I was like, look, man, I'm a Christian. We may have butting heads on religion, but you know what I love every day is to go back to my bunk at my camp with my country and get to read my religious text one little bit more. Don't you enjoy that too? I mean, really? Don't you enjoy reading the scriptures and learning about your religion, and oftentimes learning a new thing a little bit after than you did before you put the vest on? And I literally talk them down using their religion. Now, we had to have a translator, but basically what I tell them is the world doesn't need a war. Yet war is kind of inevitable. And sure as hell never changes, but I want to remind you, Bromby, that mankind may be fucked royally, but we don't have to be. We can all get along. It may take a bit longer than usual, but the world, we can get along with each other.
We can all get along.
I mean, for you and me, it's easy as hell to get along. And we butt heads, but you still stick around because I really don't think you know what else to do, but we get along. We have minimum issues, honestly. It's just at the minimum. Yet there's people in other countries that hate each other to the point where they're killing each other every fucking day. Another one dies. It's like, bruh. And it hurts. And I'm not being a passive here. I can take some people out. But, again, I'd rather not have to do that. I mean, is that not understandable? I mean, I guess not every country can agree, and there are people that won't agree, and I understand that. But if I could help it, I'd rather go in, talk them down, and get one for the good guys. Whether the good guys be the religion side, or whether it be them living another day to do so, or be with their family, or ditching whatever problem is there, and leaving their country, and then coming back after it's all over to help rebuild the stability of the country. Because there's some countries out there that are so third world that if they get a gun, they're going to go against the ones that aren't third world. Like, immediate. That's what they're going to do. If they can steal a tank or a Jeep with a gun on it, they're going to do it. And it's funny how I hear people like, oh yeah, well, if you take your nose out of people's business, we'd be better off. They blame Vietnam on that. Hey, if you can stick your nose in someone else's business because they need help, and you give them a reason to accept your help that isn't violent or brutal or hateful, and you show them there's a better way, then people would quit jumping the borders and people would stop shooting at us, The world could be a better place. Yes, I know war isn't inevitable, and it sure as hell never changes, but it can be a lot better than what it is now.
The world could be a shit ton better.
Imagine a world where COVID runs across the plains, and people are coming home from the service, and they're like, oh, hey. And they're going to shake hands with the guy they were just fighting and say, man, COVID's ravaging our whole fucking world right now. How can we just drop this? World War II, Christmas Day, they had soccer with Nazis. They chilled out on fucking Christmas Day to call a temporary truce just so they could have some fun on New Year's. Temporary truce, man, with Nazis. And they got together and had a fucking field day. So you can tell me that it's not possible, and it is, if you know what you're doing. Did it stay? No. It was back to shooting like the very next fucking day. But you see what I mean? Yeah, we don't have to be in war with everybody. If we can just give it our all to be together, especially at a time like this, where COVID's killing everybody. COVID's acting like cancer right now. It's just killing people. So our common goal as a planet is to fix that. Does that mean we're going to get everybody on board? No. I'd imagine Un would be very angry if we tried to offer him help, because he's a dictator. But that's what I'd tell him if I could. You don't have to tell your country about America existing or that we offered you help, but you want to be a dictator, and you probably want to stay a dictator as long as you can. Why can't you just accept a little outside help so you can at least basically find a common ground with them? What's so wrong with accepting a little bit outside help with another country and do a little give way here and there? That's why I kind of feel bad for the Russians right now. Ever since NATO has been formed, they've been on edge. They've been scared of their fucking life because they only have one pinch point in their whole country. That pinch point in their country's stability exists on any level. And here we are in NATO, like, oh hey, Russia's going to nuke everybody. Let's prepare for that. You're kidding me, right? I don't side with a lot of things NATO does on a bigger level because they're basically ignoring Russia. And that's why a lot of people here think Russia's going to nuke first. You know what? If they do, I'm going to slightly support it. Because again, ever since NATO was formed, Russia's been amongst a large list of red-headed stepchilds. NATO doesn't give a fuck that Russia has one pinch point that'll literally end the whole country itself if someone gets in and takes over. They don't care. NATO acknowledged it in one of the conventions And was like, hey, chill, man. You put that nuke button down. And Russia's like, fuck up, I dare you. They're doing what they can to protect their country. So I can understand. The actions have consequences, but like I said, it's better in situations like COVID or just war in general. I think if everyone on each side believed it was better to live to fight another day than it was to kill everyone and come home in a bad mood. War can be, even though it is kind of inevitable, war can be killed itself within a few years. And that's kind of where I think the war is. The hippie thing was really realistic if you really get down to it and kill the part that made them dopey and porno related and all the other shit. If you kill all that shit off and you realize what they were thinking, they had it going. Make peace, not war. If everyone just tries to get along, the world would be better.
Yeah, GTA. I'm sorry.
I did too. I was having fun. Oh well, I'm still gonna have fun. I'll sit here and chat with you as long as I need to. That sucks, but oh really? Come on, guys! And they're even spamming the T. GTA took a screenshot. All players who log into GTA Online this week will receive the TW @ symbol logo T. Games like this are the reason why shit's going on, too. I mean, if you really want to get literalier, companies that don't care, and companies that do this, you wonder why games exist. More than ever. The world needs a happy face. I really do think it. The more I think about it, the more I believe the world needs a happier perspective on life. I really do.
What was it that you said all the time?
Maybe we need to start a campaign on that. Go back to Fallout and start a campaign for that. A little movement to push out the bad and bring in the good, and nothing but the good. Hey, it could be worse. You always could be banned, or why you want to get in PvP when you can just chill out and crack a Nuka-Cola with everybody and have a total good time, not just you're just having fun because you're doing it. Like, boop.
I think it calls for everyone to share a smile at some point. And I think that's the real problem with people is, look.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Oh God, that song makes so much sense when I think about it. But like I said, man, you don't have to get into a server in PvP.
Right, people don't understand people don't see how to share common ground. I don't think anyway.
And it's funny how the religion itself is like, oh yeah, well it's been like that ever since, we'll put Christianity in there, ever since Christianity existed, or some other nonsense, you can just always, everyone has to point the fingers, and again, it's kind of what Sabrina and then believe what they do. Mankind is to blame as a whole. Don't blame it on someone else's religion if you can't look in the mirror. Everyone is to blame. Or at least the ones who aren't trying what they can to make it better. I get into a video game, and I would like to get into a video game every day. And that's really wishful thinking and have a great time with everyone. That's kind of why we had OG around. I was trying my best to jump into a place I don't like going to. I don't like PvP. I'm not going to hate you for it, but I don't like doing it. I tried to get a common ground to make him more friendly, or to attempt to make him feel more welcome. It's fine. It's not like I don't like it, I just don't want to do it. I don't get in a server and want to. You see what I mean? Especially with COVID. And I know you're probably streaming it right now on your Twitch. And that's what our message needs to be. Especially now more than ever. We all need to be chilling in our little COVID quarantine when we're at games. Find a common ground with people. Do whatever you can If you put the effort in and they consider putting the effort in, we're all happy.
COVID isn't killing everyone, but we need to share common ground enough to help get rid of this thing.
Mm-hmm. Right. Ain't gonna kill you, get into a server and not PvP, and maybe consider another option. Ain't gonna kill you to go into a server and get mad at the guy for PvPing. Common ground, man. Give a little, give a little. Yeah. I could think of a whole fuck ton of songs for that shit to make sense of what we're talking about. You know? Have you ever seen The Rain? That's a good one. We can talk about the trees of blue, red roses too. That's a good one. What a Wonderful World. That's a damn good song for what's happening right now, though. It's, if you've ever heard that song, you'll know what I'm talking about, bro. Now, you probably have heard that song.
I have.
A Wonderful World. I think a lot of people have, as a whole, have let go of the idea of we all share the planet together. It's better not kill each other over anything. But in the end, if we're all going to die in the end, and again, taking William's philosophy on nothing matters, and then throw that little bit of extra philosophy in, so if nothing else matters, why can't we just find a common ground and just say, hey, we're all going to die one day. Who cares, right? You know, and I've always been that way, and that's I think one of the reasons why a lot of people in church didn't enjoy being around me. I may go into a country that hates Christians, and I might go in there and visit some of their sermons. I might know not a damn thing they're saying, but I'll learn the basics of what they're doing, and if what my religion says don't do, I'll go do it anyways. I've attempted to achieve nirvana in a Buddhist temple. Sat there for like an hour. I had to pee, so I got up and left. Got scolded by the monk, but again, I mentioned to him that I'm not from here, and I'm just kind of learning. I'm traveling abroad to better understand the great world we live in. He was like, it's fine.
Just an observer.
I understand. Right. And he was less scolding. Of course, I didn't even look like a monk, so I was like the only weirdo and that was not dressed in uniform. I learned, I went to Taiwan and tried out spicy food. I've been to Tokyo and experienced steps in China. I've been to Tokyo, and I forgot to mention what I was in Tokyo for. I don't remember. I traveled the world, and I even studied religion a little bit. I didn't go in as far as Morgan, whatever his name is. Black guy. The black guy that knows everything about religion. I didn't go as far as he did. But when a religious sermon was going on, I willing to see and they know that I'm just traveling. I'm not here to say it forever, but I would like to learn about your religion a little bit as a guest. And I even spread a little bit of my life around with the world. I've talked about Christianity with countries that don't like Christianity. Because I told them, hey, nothing else matters. You can kill me if you want for talking about it. But in the end, we're all going to go. And it's better to find a common ground in the smallest times of our life. If nothing else matters and the world's gone to shit in a handbasket, you can give up your religious radicalism to here. You can let God in your life once, and I'll let your religion in my life once or twice. Like I said, you find that common ground. You know, I managed to get in there and talk about Christianity and not get blown to smithereens. I attended 6 different sermons. Did you know that 5 of those people attending those sermons were part of ISIS as civilians? I didn't go and say, ooh, a bomber. I didn't go in there and be disrespectful. I attended several different sermons with them. Didn't understand a damn thing they were saying, but I was respectful.
Right.
I knew enough about the country to go in there and be respectful. And then when they found out that I was from a Christian background, they tolerated me because, again, they understood that I'm not staying here, so it's not going to be A, not going to be a problem, and B, I'm respectful enough to be open-minded as a human being. That's what I kind of explained to them. We're all human. We're all going to die one day. Shit's going to happen. But I'm not going to come to your country and be disrespectful and hateful. And as long as you consider not to kill me for the religion I choose. They tolerated me. I was there for a bit, and I made a couple friends. I guess you call them friends. They don't talk to me, but, you know, long distance. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've never been into North Korea because reasons, but my dad planned on going in there and talking to people about stuff. I plan on going to North Korea and talk with Un or talk with someone of a higher power that can talk to Un about the same philosophy. Nothing else matters. There's no reason to do what everyone's doing, so everyone's at fault. You don't have to shoot. You don't have to keep doing your nukes. If everyone could find basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to show the world, find a common ground. Just find a fucking common ground. You're a done deal. You don't have to keep stockpiling your nukes forever just to be better than America or Russia. You don't have to launch them either. If everyone, the Space Center was built by every big country in the world. And yet we're still worried about nuking each other and ending everyone's life in wars. So what was that good for them? I mean, seriously. That's multiple countries under one space object. Every country has been in that can afford space programs, has been in that spaceship and done things together. Yet we're still on ground fighting wars.
We're still fighting.
And it's depressing. It is really depressing. That's why I think the hippie thing was great. If you take the pot out of it. They got a point, man. They fucking have it to a T. There's no reason to fight. There's no reason not to fight. But again, if nothing else matters, then you can make a point to consider other people's, religion, all the other everything, and you can understand that we're all human, and something or someone has created you, and someone created us on our end, and we can all get along because we share the same planet. Sharing is caring, and if you can make peace, not war, I think a lot of countries would be happier. A lot of third world countries would get that what they need. And you could go across borders of other countries and not worry about getting kidnapped, shot, or wars happening just because of you. Just imagine a day where Un says, you know what? I'm tired of being a dictator. The world could use more hands instead of whips or whatever. You know, we're there. You know, and I mean, like I said, COVID's going to kill everyone anyways, or it will try to. Let's put COVID as a living being. COVID wants to kill everybody. COVID wants to. That's what it's there for. It's trying to kill us. So if we can just... Oh yeah, by the way, my Wi-Fi may have fucked up on the molecular level. So I just tried to get back on my Xbox and I was active for a few more seconds. But again, if we can just chill. That's all I ask. Just chill. If we can all... And I want that to be our next few Twitch streams. Maybe a couple videos in about it. And I'm sure you're still probably streaming, aren't you? You too?
No, I cut it off recently.
That's fine. Like I said, if we could just... That should be another video to make right there.
But I'm still streaming on the YouTube, not Twitch anymore, though.
That's what I mean, YouTube.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No,
I'm still...
That should be our next campaign.
Right.
We could participate in other gameplay, but do what we can to make common ground. We'll communicate with people, and hey man, if you can chill, we can chill. I think if a lot of people consider that, they'll join our groups willingly.
Maybe some LFGs on that. It's like, I know I don't know you, and you don't know me, but we can try to find some common ground.
Right. If you can attempt to not be you all the time, and where we don't like it, and be real with us. I think that's where a lot of people don't like us. You know what I mean? they don't like us because we can find a common ground together, but they don't want to find that common ground. I think that's what's really kind of going on here. I'm not going to say that's guaranteed the problem, but I mean, given what's happened in the past, we're doing everything we can to make a common ground, so why can't they? I mean, not saying they didn't either, but I'm saying people could do a bit more when they get in any chat. And there's an Owu. Can Owu find common grounds? And I just want food. Food, man.
Yeah.
Feed me.
I'm gonna give you the floor for a few seconds. I'm gonna go piss.
It's not super hard. Hot nose here, so that's the only thing that's super hard here is the heat. There's 75 in the hallway.
Okay.
I must have turned the AC off accidentally. Let's turn that back on because it is hot as fuck in here. It got cold in here for a second and it got hot again. It's like 75 in the room and outside. But I mean, like I said, we can do one of those COVID streams if you want on Twitch and shit, or just do it here. This could be our official, unofficial COVID stream, and mention the fact that the world's gone to fucking hell in a handbasket, and it's still going that way. You can join us in a stream, and people can join in, play a little bit, have fun. You know,
I do think
share a little bit of smiles, and work together with everyone to find that common ground. I think we'll all be fine. You see, like I said before, COVID wants us dead. I think the best way of not dying and giving what it wants is banding together as a planet and trying hard to be nice to each other. Even if your religion says don't be nice to those who don't believe, be nice, believe. You can find the middle ground because, again, all religions have one specific thing in common with each other. The other side is, for the most part, wrong, except for the Japanese, but you know what I mean? There's certain things every religion has that you don't do in every other religion everywhere. You don't talk bad about your creator, and things that involve judgment may even also, well, in somewhere you can always find another religion that shares at least one of the fundamental rules with your religion. So I mean, it's not hard.
Really not.
See, it's funny because when I was in the church of Christianity, my grandmother was trying to drill it in my head that if you're not believing in God, you're wrong, and all other religions are a watered down form of Him, of their own false prophecy. When I left the church, I was like, okay, so what if they are? So what if they're not? I don't care. I'll believe what I want to believe, but I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, Christianity is the one and only. It's not what even that religion says. You shall not judge other sheep in the flock because it's not your job as creator to do so. And then they mentioned the golden rule. Don't treat others like shit, and they won't have the right to treat you like shit, basically. So, that's why I kept a very open mind when I went to other religions, and they were things like, fear the God of heaven, for He is He's a shadow of their own little version of hell. I was an open-minded there. I didn't stand up in the middle of a crowd of a bunch of people that were like it and say, hey, I'm a Christian, I'm offended, I'm going to do so-and-so and so-and-so, yada yada. I'm not in the right to judge. If they judge, that's fine. That's their scripture. I'll keep it open-minded. It just makes me more open-minded the more places I visit, basically. Where I intentionally can be open-minded and do the things we do on a basis of every day. By intentionally being open-minded, when I come across something like that, I'm less of breakneck, oh my gosh, you're being religiously racist or something. I don't care. I could care less if your religion thinks my religion is a form of Satanism. I'll jump right on the same wagon as you if something happens. the same way I jump onto mine. Because that's one of the things my religion taught me the most, even though I don't believe in it anymore, was you don't have to be an asshole. You're created in the likeness of my creator, is what our religion says, and you don't have to be an ass. You can be nice to anyone you come across. Make a fair ground of which to stand on a rock of foundation amongst all men are created equal to the creator. So just because they may not follow the same religion as you doesn't mean they're wrong. But that's kind of what it evolved into being. But amongst one rock we all stand, united, under one universe, one planet, one atmosphere, one everything. We share this land together as a planet. And yet people kind of say that, oh yeah, Christians are bad, oh Catholics are bad, oh my gosh, the Buddhists are terrible. No, it's not. They're not. It's just because your religion, it says don't judge, and then you go and evolve your religion over time to do just that. You got no reason to judge them. My grandma will judge anybody as a follower of Satan if you choose to abort a baby. But again, though I find that wrong, I'm not going to go to a mother that just lost her baby through abortion, or otherwise will say, you killed your baby, you're a bad person. I'm just going to feel bad for the mother because the baby is going to whatever religious paradise the mother believed in. Because all babies are born pure, regardless of what religion. I mean, you know, that's why when you do religious cultist stuff, like worshiping Satan, for example, there's women that will go into the church and ask Satan to give them a child. Because unlike some religions, they don't allow that. She doesn't want to be infertile anymore, so she wants a baby. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to hate everybody.
Right.
There's no reason to not get along. Clover gets along with everybody. Her face may not say so, but she gets along with everybody. She tolerates everyone.
But hey, I hate to interrupt.
But she's not going to tolerate.
I'll leave this recording on. You can keep talking. I just didn't want you to ask where I went. I'm going to be taking out some boxes, so if you're done by the time I get back, I don't know. But
where are you going to take the box? You going to take us with you?
I'm going to take it out to the thing. I'll be back in like maybe a minute or two. I was just letting you know where I was.
Okay. Thank you for telling me.
I have to watch the dog.
Bruce have fun?
Not yet.
Aw. He's not interested, is he?
They haven't brought the dog over yet.
Wow.
But
Yep.
I think it would be nice to give maybe some people to give some common ground. And in an essence, I'm gonna be real or technical about this, or philosophical. I don't even know what to call it. But we have all these police officers. We have the whole section of justice. All we're doing is protecting us from ourselves. And I mean us as in human beings.
Yep. I find it funny how there's certain places in the world that are having riots right now, and they're like, just give a little, man. And the people in power are like, fuck you. And then they get mad when the people are rising up. I mean, that's what happens when you don't give the option to help someone out. I mean, of course they're going to be like that. I mean, really, what did you expect? The last thing, that murder and everything that's happening is okay? No, but you should kind of be expecting it if they ask you to give a little bit and you don't. Like, how trash you gotta be as a society. Just tell the person who could use that little bit of help to screw off. I kind of think if the world wasn't so fucked as it was, people wouldn't be killing each other like they did. The riots and shit would have never happened, ever. It would never happen. No one ever had been bothered, so it would have been just fine. But for some stupid reason, people are getting into fights and hating each other and all this other stuff. I mean, seriously, guys. It's almost more of a grow-up moment. There's nothing stopping you from doing a good deed but yourself. Middle ground, man. Middle ground. I believe that the police and the people who kind of added fuel to the fire had just given a little bit of middle ground, we wouldn't have the problems we're having right now. Shit wouldn't have happened to me personally. I believe that personally with all my heart and soul. Some of the stuff that happened wouldn't have happened. Because we're all at a middle ground to say, wow, you gave a little, I'm happy for that.
Sometimes people just need to give a little, man.
Yep. And that's what I think a lot of our campaign we're going to do here will be for. Just giving a little. Just give a little. Just do what Sabrina and I've been wanting people to do ever since they existed amongst our realm of existence. Delilah even says it's a pity these creatures fight over the stupidest of things. It prevents you from getting past your next barrier. I told you what Delilah is, and she's seen our evolution kind of kick off in a way. And she said, if you can't be good to each other, how do you expect to continue past some of the shit that's happening? I mean, really, do you expect it? Is that right? If you're sitting here being petty and fighting with each other the way you are, really? Like, you really think that's going to work? I believe what she's saying. I really do. Because she's got a whole point right there. people can't grow up and give a little, how are they expect to get a little? Right?
Right.
You don't get mad at me if I don't want to give a little, if you didn't bother to give a little, because I'm going to give a little. But I'll be getting a little back because I gave a little in the first place to give back. So I know I'm doing my job. I'm playing my part.
The worst thing, or the thing that I ask you about this is, you know how false this is. People don't even think about that. They just do as they please, and that usually ends up being, in some way, screwing someone over. They don't give the time to help someone out.
Right. And I think if the world would give a little, and people in the game especially could really use a little of that giving. Like I said, it won't kill you to give a little. It really won't, I promise you. With all my heart and soul, it won't kill you to give a little. Share a little bit of shit with some guy. Cry for someone who needs it. Even if they're lying about it, just be that guy. Live, laugh, and love. That's what it should be. You should be saying. And seriously, it won't kill you to do at all. I promise you, it won't kill you.
And what was it that I said?
I'm doing what I can.
What was it that I said a few streams ago? I think it was in order to, I didn't say it on stream. I said it directly to you. I said people don't understand that in order to get an honest reflection of who you are, you have to get rid of the concept of self.
Right.
You have to remove your concept of self-reflection. Because if you reflect on yourself, you honestly don't see anything. But if you reflect on, when you reflect on someone else, there's like, usually with other people, there's like 15 million problems, and they don't ever, but that's not going to mean that you should never reflect on yourself. You should reflect on yourself, but you should take it as critically as possible.
Yep, you should. You're right. I agree with you. Yay, we did it! Yay! Big wave, woo. But that's what I think we need to be doing here. Once people start understanding all that nonsense, I think they'll be a lot happier. Me personally, I believe with all my heart and soul, people will be a lot fucking happier with themselves if they wouldn't,
They wouldn't.
If everything happened that way, people wouldn't be likely to be that guy, I believe that. People would just chill and be friendly, be respectful, and jump into a server and think, oh, hey, I don't have to be that guy to do what I'm going to do. It's just something that I'd rather, I'm not going to kill you just to give it on a roll. We are Vault-Tec, and we are friendly. Right?
Right.
That's kind of why I don't think of Bethesda as Vault-Tec, because Vault-Tec to me is someone who, an organization or a group of people who would rather go into a server and be the guy everyone wishes they could be, and be respectful, Oh, Crash Game, I just did a fucking event. Aww, I just finished Meat Week. Come on. I got a pepperized Tendermiser mod though.
Nice.
I think I really do think my Xbox is going to kill itself though. Please wait while we retrieve available game modes from the server. Ooh, man. I think my Xbox is having Wi-Fi problems, but is it bad on my end for anything?
Not really, not on the voice end, but
Okay. Let me go check, because we've been having lots of issues. Bye. If you want to be Vault-Tec like us, there's nothing stopping us from being friendly. Basically, when I say we are Vault-Tec, I mean we are the group of people that, you know, that you would think a company like that would be. We're not like, you know, what the game says it is.
What?
I don't know what.
Fucking internet don't work.
I noticed. Me too. I blame Comcast. Tiger, you don't even know what Wi-Fi is. Boop, boop.
Oh, Tiger.
Oh, whoa. Cat face.
Oh, whoa.
It's a cat face. Turn this off. He's just having a nom-nom. So my dad doesn't matter if it is, man. Boop. Boop, boop. Well, we could use it, you know.
You know what?
What?
You know what? I bet they're fucking working on the internet because it keeps cutting off.
It's only cut off twice for me.
Huh?
It's only cut off twice for me. That they all need that little bit of help to believe people are good. And I think if people would, especially in the games, that's really what makes them think the games are the problem. After everything that's happened and bad has happened after something happened in the game. I think this campaign will be helpful for them, especially because again, Sabrina doesn't like to go out in places. She has a literal trauma and PTSD from going out in public. She can't do it. She'll be fine in the car ride, but when we finally get there, she has a panic attack. Yes, it makes it hard for us to do big family vacations and things, but you know what I mean? It's people. She's scared of people. And especially within the video games, that's why she likes playing with you. And that's it. She'll play with me if we ever find those games. We have some local player games on the Wii. If I get the Wii to work, she'll have fun. She had picked up one of the Zelda games yesterday that comes in its own, like, it didn't have a regular disc because we lost the case. The case, not the disc, but it's fine. It's an archery game. Came with like a you put the Wii controller in it and it made like a fake crossbow stock out of it. You put the controller and the nunchucks in it, I think that's cute because you hold it like a crossbow stock and you push a certain amount of buttons and the game will be like, oh yeah, you're reloading it. It's the only time Link's ever used a crossbow, not a real bow. What is that game? It's canon too. Apparently it's canon. I'm gonna slam the door in your face. I'm sorry. Here comes Jinx swooping in the room like, wait, I'm gonna shut the door.
Wait.
She almost hit her face on the door. If I hadn't caught it when I did, she would have been hurt. God. The bird, though, that hit the window, I think that bird's trying to take Alice away. That fucker was massive. The buzzard. It looked like a buzzard, at least. I laughed. I was like, bruh. But, yeah, due to the fact that my dad's probably right on what he said, we won't be do-wooing things right now, like a normal woman, but, you know. This could be our little Vault-Tec stream, though. Little Vault-Tec stream about caring. You know, yeah.
Because it's something that people don't really do enough. No, they'll care about their. Some people will care about their families and their mates, if you will. But when some of them, even though they do all that, they care for those people. Then they go on a game and they just don't. Like, it's nowadays where everybody you meet is a stranger, because a lot of the people you meet online. You know, you can't just hate
I like how.
everyone you see.
Did you block her account, by the way? Sabrina?
Sabrina?
Yeah. Failed to send message. Failed to send. Your message could not be delivered because you don't share a server with the recipient or have disabled direct messages on your shared server. The recipient is only accepting messages from friends. Alright.
Hold up.
She's looking at me like, why?
I believe it was after all that hacking shit that went on.
Yeah, we fixed it for now, at least. I mean, I haven't really seen a massive fix, but it's better off than what it was.
Right. Give me a second. I'll fix that.
I always got my phone on the account wise for Discord, so I don't really care to go on Discord.
Pinky.
Just like I said, yeah, Pinky smells like girl dolls. He's like, I want some of that. Give me that kind of slice of pie. And it has cake too, yes. No cake. Yes,
No.
cake. I want cake. Yes, 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 yes.
Pinky, no. Right.
He's like, but cake. It's round, it's brown, and it's delicious. I must get.
Add friend.
He's like, get, yes, have.
There we go. Come on, Pinky.
What? Kinky Pinky, oh.
You can't go out there.
I like how they have an app symbol now. If you're using the phone, it has a picture of what looks like a smartphone. If you have a computer, it has a computer with a tower. There's another one, but I can't remember what it was. Like if you're going off of Xbox, maybe it has one for console. I'm pretty sure if you get internet access, you can use it on Xbox too. What are you doing, Gaz? I'm not receiving pictures. Why is that? I'm using my Xbox. Oh, whoa. I will turn my Xbox off for now because of reasons.
Okay.
By the way, I'm just gonna leave her be. She's not really. She just wanted to make sure you were still living. Once we figure out everything's fixed, we'll go and play. Clover, where are you going? Clover, where are you going? Come back, Clover. Come back, Clover. I'm not done with you yet. Okay. Right now you are. What your shit don't work? Oh, wait a second. Helping Kate with the fan. That's why your fan don't work, dingo. It bent downward. I'm talking about their fan, not on the side fan not blowing hard enough. It's because it was bent downward. Of course you can't blow a fan if it's... I'm gonna stop. My brain don't work. Those mole rats are gonna have a field day. Everything's over. It's raining here right now in there. Oh, it rains over
I
us.
found one of them things the other day, and I don't know what I did.
Cord.
Yeah, I need a...
There's a box of cords upstairs. I need a cord.
I have one somewhere. I had it the other day.
Is there any drawers under the TV, maybe? Okay, Rabbi, chill. What's that? There's a box. Where's Tiger?
Tiger. Neither do I. Tiger. He's probably still eating. I know where Kitty's at. Kitty. There he is. Arching his back and staring at me like food. Meow. 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 He's sitting there and didn't eat the rest of his food just to stare at me until I came to watch him eat it. Just there messing with his nerve on the back of his back, and he's like, bruh.
He's like, stop.
Yeah. Yeah, tell your car. Tiger face. A smart kitty. A smart kitten.
Tiger.
Maybe your mama remember what I did.
Yeah, maybe.
She remembers these things. I can't remember these things.
Yeah. I'm gonna charge my phone upstairs.
I had it for something. I needed it for something.
Yes.
I didn't know we had one.
Oh, it's just it's a little.
Huh.
It goes in there. Let's
Who's Sabrina? What's the matter? Sabrina's looking at me like, rah. Rah, woo.
Bruh.
I don't think she likes fan on face. She's laying on the chair the wrong way. Fan's in her face. What happened?
Nothing. Nothing. Ooh.
So many ideas. Let's go on a music box on. Yeah. This is gonna be loud as fuck.
Go for it.
I'm not so much trying doing this shit.
wrong note. There it goes. It's on Chapels. That's Church 2. Church 1 is what I've been playing on versus the chapel, which is... I wonder what you think. What you think? That's Church 1, 2. Here's 2, sorry. Church, and it's chapel.
Go back to Church 1.
Church sounds a lot better on the second one to me, though.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm saying go do Church 1 so I can take a listen again. Church 2 now? Yeah, use that.
You like Church 2, is that what you said?
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I like the organs. I love the organs. They're fun as hell to play. Mess it up again. Oh no, there's an earphone in my D key. Great. Gotta compensate for something else, right? Because it's sitting here getting stuck in the keys. Wrapped around my neck. Totally not making a noose.
Mine. Good one. I can't do all the FNAF songs, but I enjoy the classical tunes. So you probably guessed this one is the ending thing when you finally get your check. Okay, let's get this put down when I actually hang myself with cords. Hanging yourself is bad. Don't do it.
Yeah, please don't.
I'm trying to get it done where I don't actually kill myself, but I need to be careful out of the way. Goes like a whole cascade downward. I'm not going to be able to do that, so don't ask me.
Right.
But that's also was used for It's Been So Long, a living tombstone, so you probably recognize a lot of it. You see, they basically, the FNAF franchise is basically like, oh look, classical music, no one's going to notice. Totally not Shadow Bonnie's ripoff of the actual classical music, which is actually wonderfully strange.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I thought it was kind of an interesting thing that the FNAF universe is like, hey, let's make fan art of that.
Yeah.
And then there's that one guy like, screw fan art, I'm going to find where that music came from. Bram's Lullaby even, I think, made it play in FNAF at one point, which is nice. I don't know, really, but yeah. That's not classical music, but you gotta love all the music that people play.
Hey.
Yep, just gold. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
It's all this much fun. It's Purple by Mando Pony.
Yeah.
I've done some things in my life that you may think are crazy. A little different from the rest. I get my pleasure from the pain. You know, William actually had a song that he wrote that reminded him a lot like Mando Pony. He has lots of music he gets derived from the hatred of the FNAF universe because, wow, the man in the purple tuxedo versus how the game perceives it. Whoops. Wow, Scott, you really fucked up. But he gets a lot of his music. He likes the community and what they do.
I haven't listened to all the Mando Pony songs, but the ones I did listen to were Just Gold, The Show Must Go On.
Yep, that's a good one. I'm not going to be able to play that, though, sadly, but I can do
That
this.
one would be a...
Oh, this is a good one. I still can still do this one, though. Try this instead. Let's go back to actual guitar now. I'm going to try to play this in a harmonica. Lol, what are you doing, guys? Put that away. I got a harmonica and it's electric. That didn't work the same way as it used to. I remember playing this for you so well.
Oh.
I found a harmonium. It's a look, a nylon guitar, totally not made of steel, but it's an alloy. Oh, I guess I alloy it. It's Judge Iron. He's got nerves of steel. Better not try to run. He'll send his coppers after you.
Oh god.
almost make our own FNAF song. After hours in the back of a shopping mall in the deep dark depths of hell awaits one little night guard and a cultist waiting to drag his soul away. But on the hour of 12 to the dawn of 6 a.m., here in this chair you will stay. For here in the shopping mall you belong to the glitch trap, and you can never, ever go away. Because you know nothing about the shopping mall, the next FNAF game, which is about in a shopping mall. We have no fucking clue, but I can't wait to see the map. Because imagine all those stores that are probably still open.
Oh boy.
Welcome one and all to the after show. Welcome one and all. Sit down and have a seat. Please pay no attention to the terrifying screams. You should hear the warnings from the voices on the phone. For tonight you may be by yourself, but you are not alone. That was a good one. That's by CG5. The mask that we wear, just pretend they aren't there. That's a good one. It's me. I have all these sorts of songs I enjoy from the FNAF universe. Hello, well, you made it this far. Honestly, I really didn't think you'd ever really get far. Haha, don't worry, you got nothing to fear. This is just the beginning of a thrilling career. Now, the animatronics are known to bug out, but there sure isn't no reason to get the fuck out. Listen up, guys, this gig ain't for me, but we're having such fun and we'd hate you to leave. That's JT Cinema. Also now dubbed as JT Music, because I would wonder why. Your first night on the job, not sure you want to punch in, because once you're on the clock, you know I'm up to something. I've surely heard disturbing rumors of things in the night go bump in. 30 years have passed, and it's amazing that I can still continue to function. He does rap for a living. Behold the horrors, they lurk beneath the shadows of remorse. You wouldn't know, of course, but I force New Judgment Day. There's a lot of songs we're going to be running through these Williams little surprise in October. I think a lot of people can guess and figure out what's going on. But don't worry, you have nothing to fear. The animatronics aren't the only thing that gets stuffed here. You're milled in like little meat bags amongst one small elevator. Can you make it through all 5 nights with only just one fright? Don't worry, you can make it a whole career or not. That's fine with me. You get minimum wages for giving it a shot. Oh boy, this is going to be so much fun. I can't help it. God. Welcome to Athens Robotics and Bionics, where you soon will be stuffed full of joy and... Oh man, how did he do it? He had a whole rap he had set up, and I was like, damn, William, it's like Vanilla Ice over here trying to get frizzy. He had a good rap going. It was going to be for a commercial, and you realize making a commercial about a video game that's supposed to be kind of down low, it's not as easy as you would think. I'm just in here rapping about it. I mean, I'm not going to get in trouble because he's already had some onlookers. I thought that was kind of funny. He had his censor while I was like, I'm just not gonna. He had some customers who came to visit, and they were questioning what's going on because he knows William's got the robots walking around. They were like, okay. The provider of his. He's making them a Fallout mech suit. Or he's making them one in exchange that he gets the stuff he needs to make his. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. There's lots of music that'll be playing. There's lots of fun that will be had, and people will be chosen randomly and vocally. And welcome one and all, the very first show and after show. One of you amongst the crowd will be our lucky guest to sit in a chair and try to cheat death. At minimum wage, of course. Don't worry, we'll cover your loss, unlike other people who surely cannot cover your loss. Graves will be dug for absolutely no charge, or if you prefer to be stuffed.
Oh, God.
We got lots of pizza for that. He had a whole thing for that. It was so funny. He alluded to lots of FNAF jokes. It's like, don't worry, you won't be stuffed unless you choose to stuff yourself with pizza that actually tastes good. He's spending $200,000 on food for people at the party. Food and things you would find at parties. So hats. There's lots of tokens that'll be made. This would be one in a lifetime event, collaborated between him and a few other people, and I call them, to make a really big thing that will last through the entire month of October. I hope everyone enjoys, because this will blow the movie away, as what William said. This will make the movie sound like child's play.
Ooh. Oh boy.
They're bringing in lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of voice actors from all the franchise and the whole fucking thing. Except for William. William's playing himself. He's like, I don't want him to play me. It's not me. And the kids will be left out, and they will have no relation to from the game's perspective. Instead, it'll be something far as hell worse. He said, if anything, we're going to make their deaths truthful. So, he's going to incorporate his children's deaths in place of the in-game characters. That's going to be fun. Remnant will exist, and there will be some hints, but this is a new form of the FNAF universe, one of which William has created.
It'll be his thing.
Welcome, security guard. I guess you're now here to stay. After a whole great long day working at a restaurant, now it's our time to play. 6 long nights, and for 5 long nights, and 12 to 6 a.m. Here you'll stay sitting in a chair. I guess I'll just scoop you some ice cream, and for them too, I guess. But yeah, sure, maybe. Maybe. You got a problem, you can always visit Baby. She'll give you another scoop of ice cream and a cold shoulder to boot. Oh, boy.
Ooh.
Better hope you got a taser, because then, if not, and Foxy will shoot down the hall, through the door, and into your office. Oh boy. Now, he's going to have lots of fun. I know he's having a lot of fun running this, because a lot of the sets can be taken down and put back up in another way. There is a really fun thing, and apparently Scott's going to make it lore friendly as well. Try to get as lore friendly as possible. You may get to wear the closest thing you can get to a wearable suit right now that's actually legit. See, William says some people might make their own out of styrofoam and cloth. Mine will be made of all metal, and you have a chance to get the spring lock. But don't worry, good sir, these products are not faulty. Not panic, not fear, not the faulty air you breathe. You won't get spring locked and die, but I promise you won't die. He repeats you won't die several times over. It's like, oh god. Totally not a connection here. You won't die, you won't die, you won't die, you won't die, you won't get tired of dying, will you?
You won't die, you won't die, you won't die. Oh.
God. I could pull those 2 scenes out of the games, though. It's the end scene of the sister location, and the one scene from FNAF World. You won't die, you won't die, you won't die, you won't get tired of dying, will you? So, ooh, fun. There's a plot twist. Makes your brain wonder what the hell. Yeah. You may be by yourself, but you are not alone. Welcome, little child, to your darkest fears inside. I'm going to fun, take a journey through the night. That's a good one, too. There's a few of them that they don't get any credit, though, is Sweet Dreams. There's another one that's Never Alone, Never Be Alone. It's another good one. It's got FNAF 4. All 3 of those, all 2 of those are about FNAF 4. I don't remember the lyrics. I remember one. Your heart is pounding and it can't be stopped.
You tell yourself you're okay. It's too bad that your doors can't be locked to keep the monsters away. You check behind the door. There's nothing there no more. You should have stayed in bed. You heard. You don't heard across the floor. Heard this once before. Try not to lose your head. Prepare for the horrors. This night keeps repeating over and over and over until you make it to the end. Hide from the corners. You better peel your eyes and keep looking over your shoulder, cause you'll never be alone again. That's another one we'll have. We'll have lots of shows. Some of these are like handpicked by me and William and other, due to popularity on the platform of YouTube. Lots of music will be played. You could expect lots of Diamond Armada, JT. The robots will be playing it though. So imagine some of these will actually require a crowd or a single individual. Like for FNAF, we'll have someone can go up and play as the, you know, it's like the robots will sing to you and you kind of gotta follow in character and play a little pretend. He's even making a circus baby of life scale. Do you like to play pretend? I sure do. Remember that one time that a girl got too close and she got scooped? But don't worry, it's all pretend here. Just fun and games. Step a little closer, you might get some ice cream. And she'll reach her hand out and there's like kids and balloons. And William's having a lot of fun making this shit because he's like, wow, the FNAF universe, twice as advanced in any known futuristic society of flying cars ever. Since when can a robot turn into a human being and make balloons from their fingers? I can only think of one person to do that, and he lit it on fire. Well, he made a joke about the torch. But since when did you carry an ice cream scoop in your stomach? Now it's on your arm by this game. What the fuck? I gotcha. You thought you got my head, but you got me. I had to have a head to lose. I mean, God, William's gonna have a fuck ton of fun. He fakes his death like 4 times in the game. He plays the ending of FNAF 2, the Springtrap ending, as well. He's part of that. It's gonna be a lot of fun because you'll see him get in it like a set of power armor. So it'll be, instead of on the floor, it'll be on a stand, and he'll get in it like a power suit, and then he'll do the ending where he gets spring locked. It's going to be fun because there's going to be lots of little fun little jokes, like the robot's going to spray out red liquid. Of course, William's not going to be dead.
Right, of course.
But what will happen is he'll make it look like he is, and when your vision gets averted, he'll come back as a corpse, and he'll dress up like I guess you could say a skeleton, to, again, make himself look like the next Springtrap in the game later on in the show. It'll take 2 hours, he says, to get the makeup ready to look like the skeleton form of his remnant character, if you want to call it. Apparently that's the real Spring Bonnie. I always come back. Are you sure about that? You came back out here too, and you really sucked. You know what I think is funny? Each FNAF character got its own little backstory in the form of a song. No one ever puts a song for Fredbear's Family Diner stating that a brother was used to commit horrible crimes. From Fredbear's perspective of the killer using a string Bonnie suit to cause horrible things. A song about curtains closing over one misdeed of man. So basically, because, Fredbear shows up later, but they never do a Fredbear song about the original Fredbear's Family Diner. We have enough about the games through the books, so you could probably recreate a Fredbear's game. Don't feel what's coming. We can't fight off the urge inside. It's dark and you're afraid of the devils that come out at night. Let's make this easy. Soon you'll haunt these beasts you've hated. No need for sleep tonight. Sweet dreams are overrated. That's Sweet Dreams. That's the chorus. It's really great because they do it with a lot of the animations show the Nightmare animatronics. It's very fun. Replay your nightmare. Replay, play your nightmare. Replay your nightmare. Replay.
nightmare. Get in a cage. While we rattle it, our eternal revenge. We know what you did, That's a little bit of a little thing in there. It's me. We're all here just for you. Get in a cage. While we rattle it forever. God, that was a good little bit of CG5. He is known to make really loud sounds in a lot of his music. Thank you down here in the dead of night. Keeps you working, trying to survive. We are secretly watching you too. Our main purpose is to get at you. Run. That's about Funtime Freddy and Spring Bunny. Specifically, how they stalk the individual, make you think he's not going to kill you, and he does. And that one gets loud as well. There's a lot of things CG5 gets into with his music style that's loud. Like when they said forever in the song, it was demonic, shrieky, loud, eyes rolled back. It's like they're giving into their temptation to eat you. And it's loud. I kind of wish he'd say sorry for the headphone users, because I don't think a lot of people that are coming to his channel might know about that.
Yeah, they might be blasting their things, and they might regret that.
God, I did that one time, and oh God, there's Jinx that lands on the table. What you doing, Dad? Work. What's on their phone? Forever. And she's like, oh God, just falls up. She grabbed onto the cord and fell off the table, and was like, hey, the cord let me live, but fuck you, phone. God. They don't know. It's the music. You never can really tell with him. There's a lot of fun doing some of the music I like to watch them make. He enjoys it as well. He really enjoys it. It's like, for someone to be so ominous as a playoff of myself, the community sure likes me enough to make a fandom of its own. I'm like, well, don't get too attached to that problem often. You'll see some really dank shit. How bad could it be? Oh, look, a buff helpy. Oh God, put it back. What? It's Springtrap and Springtrap. Oh no. You just hear me and him yelling. We're in the office and when the game will be played, we're like, no, put it back. It was like a gay Springtrap book or something, and the fan art was like, no.
God.
Fan art, man. It's like fucking fan art. Oh, by the way, fan art will be used. That's gonna be fun, right? Instead of in-game pictures that you see on a regular gameplay of FNAF, you'll be getting to see fan art. Maybe some fan art. If we're lucky, some fan art will be used. An actual fan art of the puppet or Freddy, old Freddy. Things you normally say, there will be fan art strewn all over the place. So it gives a little bit of a modern touch to an old school game. The robots that are considered phantoms will actually be holographic, and they will only show up the thing will show up at your feet, and it'll activate and do its thing and close. He says those light bulbs will probably break 4 times within the whole night for the whole month. Continuously 4 times. He has the 4 different positions these creatures can get you from with the phantom animatronic jump scares, and he says the light bulbs probably cost $100 each time, so if they break, we're fucked.
Ooh.
And he has one in every position where the animatronics can get you, and they're on a gyro ball of some sort for the ones that move. So if, for example, the Springtrap animatronic gets you, all the jump scares in the game will be holographic. That way, to avoid it actually jumping on you, because again, these robots are like real physical creatures that he has made for the sake of show, but not all of them have a gyro stability sensor to keep them from falling over. I don't know what it's actually called, but I'm going to call it that. It basically the robot system notices the shell is becoming too unstable for standing. It keeps you from tackling Spring Bonnie, basically knocking them over, or it keeps you from running into the Funtime Foxy model and getting a face full of teeth. They notice the movement of your body, and if you bump into one of them, it's not going to kill you, but don't.
He's not out of order.
He's out of order. Right now he is. But not for what the game's reasons. He's having a hard time incorporating everything. I mean, he wants to make it for Scott to make everything to lore perspective, so there's going to be moments where you feel like you're in the VR section, but instead of VR, you're actually in the simulation. He's going to have lots of fun doing that too, because that's the room where you start out when you visit his place. It's going to be the area where the VR is happening. I mean, it's going to be lots of fun. There's going to be lots of funny things like go in to an elevator shaft to go from like help wanted. You're going into the elevator shaft to fight Mangle, and while you're in there, someone else, everyone's going to be dispersed, and while you're playing FNAF 4, your friend might be playing FNAF 1 or FNAF 2. And while when a room becomes empty and there's no, and they'll rotate it in such a way that when you leave the help wanted room to do a mission off the computer, and you leave, you're the only one that's in that right now. So they'll start changing the scene when you get done, and you get a chance to play most of the game itself. Like he carefully planned everything. He's even putting his Dodge Hellcat in the building. He called me up one day, yes, how do you fit a car in a building if the center door frame cannot be removed? That little piece of metal that separates the doors from each other. Schools have it. Schools are actually it's fucking hilarious. Schools are actually able to do that. They have that center door frame removable. His is not. I said, just cut the door frame out. Oh, damn, now there's a draft. I'm going to dodge that by going to my office. So he plans on making it removable for that little bit. He's going to bring his Dodge Hellcat in there, and he's going to give it purple headlights because he's already got it. He will not use the Cadillac. He says that one's not safe with the machine guns and the headlights, or behind the headlights. But he's going to have a reference. That would be his only reference to an October update. Was a Hellcat that will literally be behind you, and it will rev on an audio cue. So if you do the Easter egg in his version of the game, it'll trigger something else. It's kind of like this in video game to real life. So when you do the Easter egg in order that you would do it in the VR system, the Hellcat would change its colors and the headlights would come behind you. And there you go. You just did an Easter egg. And I was like, congratulations, you got 5 extra points. The hand unit's going to be the guy who played the hand unit might just be the audio announcer for the whole fucking game. It's going to be fun. And it lasts for a whole month, so you don't have to worry. It'll last for a whole month, and you can get a cool Freddy token from what I'm aware of. He's actually making that up a solid ore of some sort that will actually have value, but only in the factory. Kind of like Script and Fallout, kind of. I mean, you could. It's probably going to be made of gold or something. You could technically, but he's not making it. Why wouldn't he? Why would he? I don't know. Why did he?
No, I mean, like, why? If you got it, why would you
There's 3 different types of tokens you can get. Well, I don't know. I mean, not everyone wants to keep a gold token. There's actually 3 forms of the token as well. He has one that's made of, they're like trophies, kind of, technically. But you can go find Faz tokens, just like in the VR version. I mean, you play the entire game, though. So he was kind of the first to get that idea of taking the Faz tokens throughout the VR title and stuff, and bring it to all of the games. And you get free roam, but you're playing the entire thing. He just says, watch out, the robots don't quite understand. They won't hurt you, but just try not to get up and run away. Because they don't know, the ones coming up the hallway are not going to know what's happening. He is working on fixing that, though, because he is afraid. He says they won't hurt you. Maybe. Like, you can imagine, if the animatronics are made to run, they're going to run. He has a version of Lolbit coming in soon. It's going to make a cameo appearance, and that fucker sounds like a damn dial-up printer, and she runs at you like 30, 40 miles an hour on those 2 metallic legs. If you bump into her, you'll get a concussion. Which they'll immediately find out. The robots will immediately noted. Ringleader's going to be nude. He's going to look like Ennard the whole time. It's going to be fun as fuck. I've seen his cosmetics. He has the eyes actually blink and move around. It's creepy as fuck. You can see him on his body if you ever see him before, but they only light up at that pivotal moment in the game. And They actually follow you because they're linked to a central processor, and it's creepy. It's really fucking creepy. But some of these robots will get a two-hand tag, I believe was what it was. They can only tag you once if they get in office, and that counts as a warning. If you fail up and they hit you again, they put both their hands on your shoulders. Not like a force, but if they do that, you got a jump scare you lost. Which is fun because William's going to play a spring trap, and he is going to be sneaky as fuck. It's hilarious. There's even like vent access and doors, and every time you trap one in the vent, he's like, "Darn, I gotta go back. Gotta start over where I was over there before." God damn it! You hear the animatronic getting mad as if they're vocally unhappy that they got tricked by a human. I find it hilarious. But when he's in it, he's commenting. You know, people can get in these certain outfits, and they'll be in suits pretending to be robots. Some of them are not ready to be robots yet because they're not safe. So, like I said, I know Foxy's out of order. But if shit happens, and shit keeps happening by October, William will just say, "Fuck it, we'll just turn it into a." By the way, I tried to join your world. My shit broke. But there's lots of fun. I'm not sharing anything that anyone can't already do. And leaving out the classified stuff. But like Foxy's going to have the fuses. That's going to be fun because they're not really fuses. And they eject. It's fucking hilarious. Like, if you put the wrong fuse in the wrong hole, it'll eject. Like a bullet clip. Like a bullet round. And you shoot off the shell.
Oh boy. These pop
it's
right
really
out of
funny. And if you put all of them in, you get to kind of guess. You have to remember the game. So that way people that have never played will kind of learn. If I do this, that happens. If it pops out, you have to, basically what you got to do, instead of the actual lore base, what you'll do is you'll take a color code, and the color will flash somewhere else. It won't be like really fast, but it'll flash. It will have like static. You have to kind of make out that color. That color will pop up on the body of a body part, and you put a fuse in. Okay, good job. But they pop out, it means you didn't get the color right. And some of them will be confusing. Like, there's got to be a moment where it might be green, but to you it looks red. It's trying to test your paying attention. And there's some fun things he adds in that are going to, I'm going to say, is classified. But let's just say it'll break the lore. For the sake of laws, look at your face. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. Don't let the mango in. I don't think she wants to go to sleep, but she'll want you to sleep. I think that's been my most favorite part, is watching him make Ballora on a spinning track as she walks around, or other things. I find it very fun. The way he does some of this stuff, it's very fun to watch. Because I've worked with some of this on him, helping him figure things out. Like, should we make Ballora on a track like in the game? William's like, we don't have to, but should we? I'm like, that's what I'm asking you. Do you need to? And then the Ballora is just sitting there off of her track, dancing. I'm like, yeah, let's do that, because I don't like it. You see, I enjoyed playing the games, but I did not enjoy the fact that we're making these things real. So you can imagine having a Nightmare Fredbear looming over you, or as they said in the game, a Nightmare was a transparent blackened steel form of Fredbear. That one's creepy as fuck when you get close to him, because he like twitches. And he's like, "Hello, little boy." And like he glitches a fuck ton, and he has like a bunch of audio fails. And I find it funny. He has like a bunch of audio fails. How are you today? Have you been sleeping well? Don't worry. If you haven't, you'll never ever sleep again. And it glitches. He has lots of loud noises, lots of cringe sounds. I mean, some of the robots make sparks when they move. I thought it was funny. I find it really hilarious. The styles he may use for some of these robots in gameplay. Sorry for the burping. I'm gonna have lots of fun because I'm helping him with a lot of this stuff. So I'm taking great pride in how we're doing some of this. Like, it's my idea to give some of the animatronics, at any given point, any of them can do this. They can glitch out and break the fourth wall, and they're like, why are we here? Well, apparently, a guy in a purple tuxedo decided it'd be funny to kill us. Now we're stuck here forever. What do we do, Freddy? And then Freddy won't respond. And it's like, oh yeah, we got to stay in character. They'll just kind of communicate with each other and makes them almost seem living. There's a couple stage performances I made up for the scenarios. They run through a bunch of random stage performances. Some of them are like musical only, and they pick music that actually is relevant to the universe. They'll pick other things like cut music that only Scott knows about, and there'll be lots of music from animators and songwriters from the YouTube franchise as well. We got lots of funny little jokes, like a holographic circus baby walking up and down the rows of seats, because when there's like stage performances, you have to be sitting at all of them, because again, these robots will actually get up and walk around. I find it hilarious because there's a version of the song where, on one of the songs where Springtrap gets right up, he picks a random person out of the crowd, usually someone in the front or back row, and he gets in their face and he opens his face plate and is like, look at me in the eyes, look what my sins have brought me to look like. And he does like a little commentary, and he goes back to his stage, and it's going to smell like a corpse. Like, people are going to probably throw up after going to that show. Yeah. And there's also going to be a death sequence between that turns him into Springtrap. I mean, it's also going to be off. It's all going to be off screen and holographic style. So you'll see a curtain that will show that. It may show an end scene that William will basically foreshadowing. There'll be an instance where the puppet just flat out breaks character and is like, William, it's time to stop. You've killed enough children. Aren't five just enough? It's like, be gone, puppet. I don't have time for your infernal, eternal meddling. And then she drops the curtains on the show and foreshadows a vision while they're in front of the curtain. And then she'll point to what looks like a smoke. It's going to be very theatrical, very Broadway. And she's basically like, you will stop, Afton. And if I have to, I will make you. And she foreshadows the children showing up. And then Spring Bonnie's like, in supposedly William in a suit. And the robots are just interacting with each other. Even if I have to make you and damn you to hell forever, I will. You will stop one way or another. And then the splash of light or smoke and the puppet's gone. But it's very theatrical, very fun. I'm going to enjoy every bit of it because, again, it's just a lot of heart and soul was put into this, and a lot of this could be from Scott, and some of this could be me and William on creative liberties. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of fun little jokes we'll play in there. Pizza's not the only thing that gets stuffed here. And it shows a picture of ice cream cone. It's like, yeah, we're going to feed you lots of ice cream. Don't worry. It won't stuff you. I promise. The Funtime Foxy model actually will be around the children, or the Mangle. Mangle will show up as a less mangled form. Yo ho ho, a coloring life for me. And there are a lot of the female robots will be around the children. You can see Funtime Foxy. They'll play off their roles as what they would be during the day, so you can go do day performances that were mentioned in the game. So like, Ballora will have some cheesy song to play about enjoying pizza, but in moderation. So you'll need to dance to lose that pizza so you can eat more pizza. And she'll have the kids dance and have fun. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's also going to be a few things that are not from the universe of FNAF that will make a debut of some things that Williams created. But there will be a set of power armor that may or may not show up. It depends on if he can get it fixed. Like I said, making a set of armor is not easy to go on a chassis, like the way Fallout hints at. There's nothing, according to William and the Fallout Bible and everything canon of Fallout, there's nothing on that suit that says, hey, there ain't nothing on there that says directly, hey, there's not a magnet, there's not a latch of how that armor basically is stuck to your suit. And So we're kind of have to go on off of creative liberties on how we think it is. And he says, if I make this with a magnetic underlay or a magnetic unit where the chassis you're wearing is magnetic and the armor is metal, you know, pothole pot pie, lol. What the hell is this shit? I can make you a pothole pot pie. Boiled water, fancy lads, snack cakes, squirrel bits, wood, mystery meat pie, intestine, spoiled meat, toxic water, spices, wood.
I think that's...
Mutton meat was made by Sheepsquatch. The Sheepsquatch. There's some weird shit in here. Like the mud cookie looks like baby vomit.
Oh, God.
It's made of a blackwater brew, 1 Mirelurk egg, 2 razor grain, 1 wood to cook. By the way, the wood is not in the recipe, it's just required to cook it. And it looks like baby vomit. It really looks like baby vomit. And I've never had it before. Some of these recipes I've never made. I've never made the pothole pot pie. I've never made, because you don't really do that stuff often. If I cook it, it's just for XP. So I don't really go down and look at my whole list. Like I've made razor grain flour, which is 1 boiled water, 1 concrete, 1 or 4 razor grain. You need that to make s'mores, which is 1 bone, 1 Brahmin milk, 2 razor grain flour, 1 spice, 2 sugar, 2 syrup, 1 wood. And it looks like a s'more. I'm assuming the bone is for the calcium that the milk probably lacks. Or maybe because of the white. I don't really know at this point. Like I said, some of this is weird. And syrup, you have to have glowing resin and wood to put it in a bottle. Some of this stuff is really strange. Like the resin itself, you think would be a milky color or a liquidy color, but the bottle itself is glass. So you don't even know what the resin looks like. Where some other bottles, like I can make, on the brewing station, I could make Nuka-Cola dark, but you think, oh wow, guys, that's so easy to make, and you can get a cap off of it, but you have to sacrifice a Nuka-Cola to make it. You have to pay to get your cap back. I enjoy the idea of making things like the disease cure Meyer requires green thumb and chemist. So it means I'm already getting double from the Meyer.
You're already getting double.
The Ash Sheep requires green thumb. Divide requires green thumb. The Meyer is the only one that requires 2 things. Everything else is fine. Disease Cure Forest, Healing Salve Toxic Valley, Healing Salve Forest, Ash Sheep. Some of these are really weird. But I'm still going to make that up. I'm still going to make that Fashionat donut. You watch. I will make the Fashionat donut. Fashionat donut.
As far as
sausages
goes here, it's been going on for 3 hours. You want to end it? Maybe do a
Sure. We're going to make an actual other stream by chance?
Yeah, the Twitch stream. I'm thinking about doing
that.
Well,
got our
anyways,
Vault-Tec.
guys, this has been a pretty long stream. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for being here.
Sleep.
But, I enjoyed this. So I will see you guys in the next one. Go check out my Twitch profile, and I will be streaming there.
But this is goodbye.